Salute y'all. Welcome, guys and gals, to the Twitch Mindset Podcast. Hey, Friday night edition. This is a first, man. This is a first Friday night edition of the podcast. We're super hyped. Things gonna be pretty lit. First of all, I want to say thank you to our guests here, Slightly Salty, for wanting to be on the show for one, and then agreeing and coming on and sharing some time with us. So we appreciate that, brother.
Honored.
You really do.
Glad to be here for sure.
Man, we're very humble to have you here. My name is Pat, aka YourFavTexan. We've been doing this podcast for almost 2 months now. It sure doesn't feel like it. Feels like we started like a week or two ago. It's been so much fun. But I just want to, Healthy, man, if you want to, introduce yourself, and then we'll get to Salty, man, get this thing going.
All right. My name's That Healthy Kid, or John. I've been streaming probably 4 to 5 months now. And yeah, we've been doing this podcast for around 2 months. I'm pretty pumped and happy that I've been asked to come and help Pat along with this podcast. Really makes me happy that he'd want me to be a part of it. I'm 22 years old. I'm a Canadian. So shout out to all my Canadians in the chat, if we got any. But yeah, that's pretty much my story.
I'm Colton, or Slightly Salty, 24, and I've been streaming since April, so 6 months, I think. 10 months, I don't know how much. Months is hard. And this is my first day on the podcast, so what's up?
Nice, man. No, we're happy to have you for sure.
Yeah,
we're happy to have you.
Yeah, we're super happy to have you. So my first time I got the pleasure to meet Salty, I was in Sari's stream, hanging out with him and stuff. And he was like, man, so he's a great raider in general, because he just talks about, the person that he's going to raid and how great they are and stuff like that. So sure. he said that you were going to be extremely entertaining. And I was like, man, right on. So he raided you, and like, dude, from the gate, man, like, it was awesome. A bunch of like great facial expressions, a bunch of like cool notification sounds and something like that, and all of those great tangibles. It's always great to make a first impression, and
Definitely.
you do an excellent job at that.
I appreciate that.
So man, like, tell us about your community, dude. Like, I've been in your chat a few times, and it seems like everybody is like, they like you and they like the whole vibe that you have going on in your stream.
I guess the biggest thing is, I have a low tolerance for hate. Actually, there's a zero tolerance. So my whole thing is, people come in, and I mean, there's people that I met 6 months ago that have never been by my stream again, so for the first time, and they'll come in and they will tell me about how awful of a day they had that day. And it doesn't matter, and everybody that's there, and including myself, we spend the time to really get to know them and see what's going on and try and help them get past that. But I guess, my community is basically based off of, you don't have to be bashful or ashamed of who you are or what your preferences are, or whatever, what type of person you are. And if you got to go kick your boots off, in other words, and go home and vent about your day and get some support, that's what my channel's about. And I've helped a lot of people get through a lot of financial struggles. Blessed to be able to do that, and I've helped a lot of people, with just other life troubling issues that they were going through at that time. And it's been intense, and it's radiated throughout my community, and those people have brought that into their stream, and it's just been fantastic, like the amount of impact that you can make that way. And I don't know, I just never thought that it would be such a I don't want to say hit because I'm nowhere near where I'm gonna be, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I'm thankful, but it's nuts that being that type of person radiates such a good energy, I guess, across everywhere I've been.
Mm-hmm.
How much time does it take for you to have to deal with all the editing and stuff for all this SoundCloud podcast business? That seems like a chore.
Honestly, I've been trying to put a little more time into it each podcast, just to try and edit it, make it a little smoother and stuff, like the intro, the outro, and then just kind of pick through like any long pauses or anything. Like if we have any
Right.
interruptions, like we just did with technical issues, then I'll edit that out, of course.
Right.
But probably somewhere between like an hour, hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer than that.
That seems reasonable. I tried YouTube at one time, and I would spend like a whole 5 hours making a video, and then I would hate it, and then wouldn't post it. So,
Oh yeah, dang.
yeah. Anyway, YouTube's
Dang.
not for me. It's every streamer I know that's established, they always say, "Oh, you need to be on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, you're making a mistake." And I'm just like, how do you find the time to do that? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It's not for everybody.
Oh, for sure. Well, everybody has their own things that they like to do too, right?
Right. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I upload the podcast on YouTube. It takes a minute. Like mainly, it's just like editing just the tail end of it
Right.
when we're doing like Q&A and stuff, and then like the first part of it. It'll be a little bit more work this time with
Right.
the issue that my internet had. Again, I'm sorry about that, y'all. It's my bad. But part of it. I feel you though, man. It's like prioritizing time for it. It's definitely tough, but I try to get it done like once a week
For sure.
for sure, man.
That's a big thing. Is time management. That's something that I'm still learning and working on
Same.
myself.
Same. Yeah. It can be very, very difficult. Myself, sometimes some weeks are better than others.
For sure.
But yeah, I just try to do my best. But you were talking about support, how support can come in, several different ways. I agree with that. Like as far as, explaining that to somebody that may not quite understand, that might just think that if they're not actually getting a physical view that, on their stream, that, they're not being supported. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of people expect, like everybody's on social media, and some people are on multiple, and there's networking. Even though I hate that word, is definitely a chore, but it's something you have to do. And I feel like a lot of people think that Twitter will relate to their Twitch, or Instagram will relate to their Twitch, or so on and so forth. But in reality, I have people that I'm really good friends with now on Twitter that, all we do is retweet, tweets back and forth every now and again. We don't have it. It's not a word of mouth. It's just a general, like I see their tweet and I give them a retweet. They
Right.
might do that to me.
I see.
And they might not ever come into my channel ever, and that's fine. That's and so I think a lot of people get bummed out and they start not supporting those people again, because they're like, well, if you're not going to come, because Twitch is generally that's the goal, right? For most people, they want the Twitch to be the biggest growth, and I feel like a lot of people just kind of say, you know what, if you're not going to come watch my channel, then I'm not going to support you anymore, and then they stop doing those retweets, for example, and those people are. That's not the best way to do that. I think the best way is just to support as many people as you can that you think deserve it, and in turn, that just kind of happens naturally, vice versa. It's not like, that's why I'm so against the follow for follow, which is not support, and the host for host and all that crap. That's just clutching for straws, and I don't know. That's a rant that we're not going to get into, because I can get pretty fired up about that.
I feel you on that. When you first started streaming, did you ever get into the fall for follow
No. The only thing I am guilty of is I started a Gleam.io giveaway. I don't know if you know what that is, but Vast uses it, I think. But anyway, basically you can put like follow your Twitch and you get this entry, follow your Twitter, you get this entry, stuff like that. And I did that for about 2 days, and then I was like, this is not what I think is gonna work. This is gonna be a boost. It's not gonna even matter, because I quickly got like a few retweets from accounts that were just giveaway accounts, like they were just people trying to win money. You go on their page, it's just,
Yeah.
and I was like, nope, done, and I canceled it. That's the only thing I've been guilty of in that sense. Honestly, the way I got my start was in a small streamer community, and it was actually based off of host for host, but it wasn't, I didn't really contribute to it. I just picked 2 or 3 people out of it, and I said, I'm going to check these people out, and I did, and
Nice.
I got lucky, and we just hit it off from the beginning, and then we later started a community, and, that's old news. But it's just, I don't know. Follow for follow is a waste of time, and I hate that people don't realize that from the beginning, but... And it actually hurts you. This is something that a lot of people don't know, which honestly, if you're doing follow for follow, you're never going to hit partner anyway, unless you stop doing it. But hitting partner, they actually look at your active followers, and if you have a bunch of useless follows, like that hurts your account towards partnership. A lot of people don't know that. So seriously, it is not worth it whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't know that portion of it. Like I knew it was, like I compared to, I'm like, follow is like, empty calories. Like literally it's just this number that doesn't do you any substance at all. And even if whenever you do it to, or support where you push to that, that affiliate or whatever, once you get there, all those people leave because, they're usually streaming too, and they fulfilled their duty, which was getting you to an affiliate.
Right.
1,000%, brother. It's just a very, very bad method of growing, and you just can't sustain it. It doesn't, just doesn't do you any long-term good. But yeah, 1,000%, man. With the whole retweeting thing, same here. Like healthy. Not healthy, and I will retweet each other's stuff. A bunch of other people that I'm cool with, and some people are against like retweeting if they're live, right? Like we're live right now. If I were to take a break and look at my phone or something like that, and somebody were to tag me and I retweet them, like some people just won't do that, and I just feel like that's so not the way to look at it for me.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, if you want to watch somebody's, that person's stream, you're going to watch their stream. Right. Okay? Yeah. Simple, and it doesn't matter if you retweet them or not. And also, people always think that you're taking money from this person or that person. Like there's just one pot where everybody's, digging out of. And that literally couldn't be any more wrong. You know what I mean? Like the more people, especially, people that go about things the right way, the more of them that get there just helps all of us out, and for that whole mindset of just being, oh, I'm not going to do this because that person that donates $1 every 2 weeks might go to that person's stream and stuff like that. It's just a terrible mindset to have, and it's just their ego. They're just letting their ego get in the way of true growth. And I'm extremely against that whole, thinking that you're digging out somebody else's pocket, because it's just not true. It's just not the way to go about it.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you brought that up, Pat, because that whole competition aspect where you're not going to be taking any views away from me or anybody else, right? Like I'm not going to go and retweet your tweet so then people will go and follow you, right? If you go and have 4 or 5 people where you're consistently going into their streams, they're showing you support back and forth, or even just like not even going and giving support back to each other, but building more of a friendship kind of thing, where you can bounce ideas off of each other, you can do collabs, different things like that. You're going to grow way faster than let's say with me, like if I had just decided I'm just going to do my own thing, right? I'm not going to go and reach out to anybody on Twitter, Twitch, anything like that. I'm going to say no to this podcast because I don't like old Pat, right? Like if I never went, if I did that, then I wouldn't see any growth at all. You got to be open-minded and work. If you work together, I honestly think that's 10 times better.
I think it's important, you know, to add on to that. I think it's important that you open up about yourself also, and you know, if you have, you know, within reason that you're willing to open up, obviously, but you know, if you have those people that you go and watch, and then in turn they kind of watch you, and you open up to them, in turn they may open up to you the next time you catch their stream, and then that's just further building that connection, and that's really where it boils down to, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Healthy and I, that's basically what we did.
True.
I saw Healthy on Twitter. He saw me on Twitter. He came into my stream one night. I was playing Farming Sim. We got to chopping it up, and I'm like, oh, this dude is really cool, you know. And the type of personality I have, and first of all, if you're just gonna show me love, period, like I'm so grateful for it. Like I'm gonna check out your stream or whatever, regardless. But we just hit it off, you know, very quickly, and then I started going into his stream, started learning about each other, and then I mean that's where the whole podcast deal came up. I just went into a stream one night. We were talking about mindset and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, man, I don't know. We should make a podcast about this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, bro, go ahead.
Everybody that's ever had that same idea has branched off into making like multi-billion-dollar companies. Not that it's about the money, but you know, that's what's awesome. Is just when two people connect and they both have the same mindset and a dream and a goal, then there's really nothing that gets in the way, I think. And, you know, so hats off to you, too, seriously. I know you guys have put in the work, and it's, you know, I can't even begin to imagine. I know that, I know for sure that I work hard myself, but I know that you two do also, because we're here, you know. There's no way that, you know, you can tell who puts in the work and who deserves it. So, for sure. Hats off to you guys.
Definitely.
Oh, man. Well, dude, first of all,
appreciate that.
Really, really, really appreciate that. Yeah, I think like, and that's the other thing too, right? When you meet somebody like that and you just have that genuine connection, I mean, you always want to be around that person. Like you always want to talk to that person. So, you know, Healthy and I, like, we'll do the podcast. And then after that, you know, a lot of times, sometimes we're talking in the Discord for like another few hours, just, you know, that's just how it is, you know.
Till I like pass out and Pat's like, oh, man, you can go to bed if you want.
Yeah, man. It's just, and that's the one of the great things about Twitch in general is just the community. You were talking about how you never expect. I had no idea. You know, I don't expect anything. So the fact that I've been able to meet somebody like you, Salty, like you, Healthy, and just many other just genuinely like kind, positive people, I've already won.
Yeah.
Like this whole Twitch thing, I won. We've all had.
That's the weird thing too. I've met, like, just trying to like go and stream, I've met some cool people too, just going and playing games or doing whatever. Right? People I've been able to open up to, play some games with, and just chill out. It's been a really like eye-opening experience, I would say. More than anything.
1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah, until you know, just actually get in it and see it, and you know, actually do, and not just talking about doing it. You just have no idea what's all out here, and we haven't even, you know, seen the surface yet. You know, let alone scratch it. It's just, it's just, I'm just honored and thankful to be talking to y'all right now. Everybody in the chat. It's just a pleasure. I love it. I love it. That's why we do it, right? We just love it. It's just fun. That's the reason why we sacrifice everything. It's the reason why we sacrifice sleep. For sure. Like it's just we just love it. We just can't go without it. So you know, that's what, you know, drives me. It's just the fact that, man, it's just just passionate, man.
For
Like
sure.
that's why you rant, Salty. Like that's why I rant. We're just passionate and just care about people and just it's like no, don't do follow for follow.
Well,
Yeah.
and a lot of the times I feel like people will end up looking at the fact that the internet is ugly, or the internet is is an evil place, and in some places it is for sure. And I don't know, you guys might have hung around on Twitch before you started streaming, but I know I didn't. I knew about it, but there's nothing I really ever get out of here now. There's never anything I really thought that I would like. I never had any idea I was going to be on Twitch, not once. And then, to me, obviously some places on Twitch it's not like that, but for the people that I'm around, like this is I say it all the time, this is like a lantern in a very dark world. Because, I mean, that's why I don't ever try and think I'm bigger than anybody, because it seems like everybody I've ever met, if I go into their channel and anybody go in there and they say, I've had this issue going on, or I got this going on, that person or that community is always supportive. And that's why I think Twitch is underrated in a lot of sense for that. But I don't know. I think that's where a lot of the support comes from, is just being able to just be there for people, for sure. And that's important in building connections, but more importantly in building yourself. And that's a big thing that I talk about is, overall it's self-improvement is going to get you further than any book or any anything that you could ever educate yourself on. As long as you spend the time in trying to be the best you, that's what's important.
And it's funny how doing something that you like or love, like just playing video games and streaming it, has kind of changes you, right? Like it opens up to other people, and how open the community is to that. Like I found that really funny. Like I never thought that people would be this nice on Twitch. Not for once. I never thought that I'd have made the friendships that I had so far.
Well, that's what and that's what's crazy is, like, even if, let's say we all stopped streaming, right? And we decided we're done, we're not gonna do it anymore, we're burnt out, whatever. We might not be here to watch the people that helped us get to the level we're at now every time, but we're still gonna stop in. And if you've seen that person on the street, it would just be like catching up with an old friend or something. Like every time, and that's powerful. You don't get that anywhere else on the internet. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
1,000%, for sure. Like even if somebody healthy or somebody just like you said just stopped streaming, still I still text them. I still wondering if he's okay. Probably hang out in the call every once in a while, check up on him, see how he's doing and everything like that. For sure, I agree with that. Like the volume that we can meet people, on Twitter and on Twitch, on these platforms, and just make connections through y'all both like a tweet, or y'all both retweet the same tweet about whatever subject. I mean, it's just how, man, I basically met most of y'all. It's so fascinating, and it's so cool to actually be able to be in it, and see everybody benefit from it too.
It's crazy how, I mean, even on Twitch, I feel like, or Twitter specifically, I feel like I don't want to say I've made full circle, because there's obviously a lot of people that I need to meet, and there's a whole like vast, almost limitless amount of people, but like it's amazing, like everybody has their own community, I think, and everybody in a sense, and there's the big communities that are streamer communities, and then if you really boil it down though, the people that have the same mindset, we're all in a big, like a giant community. We're just not necessarily all intertwined completely, but like I'll hop into other people's streams, and then they'll raid somebody that I met 3 days ago, and I'm like, hey, holy cow, I remember you. Like, this is, I've been meaning to check out your stream anyway, and now I'm here, and I always bring that up, but I think that's so cool. That's unbelievable how, positives attract. I feel like, not opposites. I don't know. That's not really how it goes.
1,000%.
I believe it.
Yeah.
1,000% for sure. I agree with that too, because I've been streaming and healthy being a stream or something like that in a chat. Somebody else comes in that I know had no idea that they knew healthy, and then they're just like, "What's up? What's up?" It's so cool, bro.
Yeah.
It's so amazing like that. But for sure, I say that too. Like-minded people attract like-minded people.
For sure.
And that's why Healthy's chat is positive. That's why your chat is positive, Salty. That's why, thankfully, my chat is positive. And that's the other thing too. You set the tone. Taking ego completely out of it, regardless of not, it is your stream, and you set the tone of how you're going to operate it and what you're going to let slide. And man, I tell you what, you let some stuff slide, that goes around quick, and then the same kind of folks will come to that stream.
Yep.
And then, man, if you don't nip that in the bud, whatever it is that's just toxic and that you don't want, but you don't speak up or something, that's what your stream can turn into.
For sure.
And that is something to keep in mind. So I'm sure there has been folks that started out with a different mentality. It may have been a toxic mentality, but then somewhere along the way, they got enlightened or whatever you want to call it, decided to go the positive route because toxicity never wins.
Right.
Over kindness and positivity. And then, imagine that paradigm of like getting that toxic community out and injecting a positive one. You lose your whole community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, something to keep in mind. We've got to take ownership of what we do, and you really got to watch what's going on with the community.
It's just crazy to me that people even think that being toxic is going to get them far. Like every superhero movie, every comic, every story, the good guy wins. Like, that's really cheesy, but seriously, that's what it boils down to. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's facts, bro. It's facts. Completely agree. And I agree with that too. And when you're not of that mindset, you really can't understand how somebody is.
For sure.
I don't know how their brain works. I just know that if I'm not kind, I can't sleep at night. Like,
yeah.
No, I relate to that for sure.
Just who you are.
Yeah.
It's just, I always hate leaving a bad, it's like a bad taste in your mouth, and like, I've never put anybody down, and I've put people in their place compared to how they're treating other people, I'll say that, but you can do it in a way that you don't put them down, but I just don't see how anybody can speak ill of another person. That's just, like, we're all human, we're all, all trying to just enjoy life. Like, why would you have to, I don't know. I can't relate to that, and I just can't be around it. And like you said about taking charge, that's incredibly important. And I know that a lot of smaller streamers that are just starting out or new streamers really don't like the word small. I feel like it's passive aggressive and sells yourself short. But for me, it seems like if you're got 1 or 2 or 3 viewers, and then some person comes in and they seem nice or whatever, they're just being genuinely okay, and then the next stream they come in, they're starting to be really rude and be negative. It seems like they end up just saying, hey, you know what, it's okay, that'll pass, you can hang out. And you can't do that. That's not, you just gotta nip it in the bud then, and I would love to share my band list, but it's I most of the time when people come into my stream and they're toxic, I just say, hey, straighten it up or you're gone. And the next time they do it, they're out. And, I'm just straight up about it. I don't care, I don't have time to try and, you can't convince somebody's mindset to change. It just happens naturally. I was like, similar to like quitting tobacco or alcohol, nobody's going to get you to do that. One day you're just going to stop. And that's the same thing with streaming and just meeting people in general, and I just feel like a lot of people don't realize that, and they just let whatever slide because they're trying to get to the top. But when you get there and they see the awful community you have, that's as far as you're going to get. You're going to peak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
for
it's
sure.
definitely a choice for sure.
I think I agree with that. Yeah, you can't like you said convince, you know, somebody to change that mindset. Like I think at the max, and I do mean at the max, all you can do is maybe one day put a bug in their ear.
Yep.
Like let me explain. So, you're talking to somebody or whatever, somebody comes into your stream, and you're going on a positive rant or something like that. A lot of times I've experienced this too, whatever, like that person, whether they're being toxic or whatever, they'll leave, might be the next day, might be 2 weeks from now, they'll come back in your stream or send you a DM on Twitter or reach out to you, whisper you, any kind of way, just be like, hey man, I was thinking about what you said the other day. Can you tell me more about that?
No.
Or, man, maybe you're right. Maybe I should have been doing that. It really doesn't make me happy when I'm negative. Something like that. I think that's the most you can do.
Right.
Go ahead.
I mean, you got to show compassion, because it's just like that old saying, the people that are bullying are typically being bullied elsewhere, and the people that are mean and toxic, they're around it somehow, and you got to kind of just be that role model in a sense, and just I know that I've been kind of taking the difference where I've said like, hey, I know you're going through some stuff right now, and I'm sure you're hurting. I hope you find that, and if you need to talk, I'm available, here, etc. But for now, you're banned. Like I give them that chance.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, those people don't reach out, and that's fine, but there's so many people that I'm around now that I don't have time to try and convince the wrongdoers, how they're acting and how it's affecting them. Because, I mean, it is. And so I would rather just be around the people that have already have that mindset than spend all that time that I could be helping them out to go try and convince some new person that, why they're wrong. And there's no easy way to do that. Nobody likes being told they're wrong.
Right.
For sure they don't.
Right.
For sure they don't.
Right.
I think you have an awesome mindset as far as that goes too. As far as the as far as being positive within the Twitch community and everything like that. But as far as your personal life goes, have you had to kind of switch up your circle or anything, or anybody hasn't been really comfortable with you Twitch streaming?
Honestly, the big question I get, and I feel like a lot of people do, is why? Why I stream? And I guess my answer has always been because I was already going to be playing games until I started really making some impact in some people's lives, and then I was like, honestly, it's just the people that I meet, and I mean, for those that have come in my stream, like I know Tex has been there. It seems like most of my stream is like a game in the background, but it's just me talking. Like that's really what it boils down to, and I love that. Like I streamed for like 5 hours the other day playing Rainbow, and I got like 2 kills at those 5 hours. That's not a joke. That is awful. I'm not proud of that, but I'm just saying, like, I'm so interested in everybody else. I don't care about what's going on in the game. I'm just moving my mouse around, And as far as social circles go, I mean, I've pretty much done that my whole life. I think I've got more patient, but I've also gotten more. I've learned what I'm worth and what my time's worth. That's something that I've grown to understand, and it's turned into I would love to help you, but I can't help you in the mindset you have right now. Calm down or whatever. Hit me up when you're calm down, and we'll talk. But for now,
I get you.
But yeah, I mean, I guess for the most part, it's been pretty much the same. But I think I've inspired some others too.
Oh, okay.
So, well, here's an example. A guy I work with at work, he used to be a preacher, and his church kind of took I don't want to say go downhill, but it more or less did, and he didn't like where the direction it was going, so he left. Well, then he gave up on preaching. He was super passionate about that because it's the same. Preaching to me, I'm not trying to get religious, but preaching to me is a similar situation as Twitch, because you're being a really big role model, and you're making an impact in somebody's life somehow. And so
1000%.
in order for him to really he opened up to me after I opened up to him about Twitch, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna get back on the horse ultimately, and I'm gonna go check out this new church that I've been wanting to, and I'm gonna try and just go up there and see if they'll let me speak for a little bit. And he went up there, and he hit it hard, and he is like a very well-known preacher in my city now.
Nice.
That's awesome, dude.
And that's one of those other things. It's like you can't put a price on that. Like I know so many people that are just like, oh, how much money you make? How much money you make? It's first of all, it's none of your business, but also that's not the point. Like
yeah.
Like
yeah.
There's no value. Like I'm just like everybody else, I'm sure, but I put in 20, 21 hours a day most days, between work and being a father and being an important SO and all that, everything. Everybody's got their own stuff they got to deal with, but in order for you to really buckle down and think about it, it's like one person that ever opens up to you and says, hey, you really made an impact in my life, and you changed like how I look at things, and I'm going to start being a better person. That's worth, like, from here on out, that's going to keep me going for sure.
Dude, man, I literally, I couldn't agree more, bro. Like with everything that you just said, I'm just so about that too. That's just like with the whole preacher deal. It's hard to describe it. Like it's so beyond humbling, It's honestly hard to put into words, but it's just that feeling, and I know that feeling that you're talking about. It's just, man, just being just gratitude. I completely agree with that. Same here. And it kind of goes back to the whole, how you need to set the tone in your stream and not allow toxic people to be around, because it's perspective, right? Like as humble as all three of us are, the reality is, sometimes a person comes to your stream that you've talked to a few times, and says something extremely kind about you, like you said, that you've helped them like be a better person and just all stuff like that. And it's like, man, I've got somebody like that in my stream. Like we are role models. Like if any of y'all think for 1 second that I'm gonna allow a toxic person to come into this chat and talk down to that person, it's just not gonna happen. In the same way, bro, when that drives me too. It's just like, I don't care. Like, man, like what do you have going on? You need to talk after the stream. Like, man, like I don't care. Like I'll talk till whatever, I'll fall asleep. Whatever I can do for anybody, I'll do the best of my ability. Like if anything else, I'll be an ear. Like if nothing else, I'll be an ear for you. You can vent to me. You can tell me what you have going on. But that's what it is, bro. It's just that passion and just caring about people so much that the whole, like you said, with the money deal, it's so secondary. Like it's like, nah, the community is first.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the reality is, and this is what I love about just how the way the world works, is that the reality is if you put your community first, you're going to win. Like, period. Give to your community without expectation, and you're just gonna win. The issue is that when a lot of folks start streaming, even if they've been streaming for a while, is that their first thing mindset is to take. Like come to my stream, follow me, like host me, raid me, help me get to this, help me get to that, with not even thinking about how can I give to the community. That's the reason. That's the reason why Healthy you're having success. That's the reason why you're having success, Salty, is because you give to the community in so many ways. The tweets that you post, everything that you're doing behind the scenes that no one knows about. Like we all have that. Like that one person that's DMing you, like on some real life type stuff that is none of our business to put out there. Like that's why we do it.
For sure.
Like stuff is like it's real out here. You know,
Sorry,
so
you go ahead.
just a real quick, just to be in this position, to be able to be that, you know, shoulder to lean on or whatever. It's just, I'm very thankful for it.
For sure. You know, I've been in situations. It's been 2 times now, I think. I might be mistaken. It's at least 2 times. I've actually ended my stream for somebody that opened up to me in the chat. You know, like, I feel like we're at that point to where you can just kind of get that vibe, like things are bad. You know, they need somebody like right now, and nobody wants to. Some people don't want to put their business out there, you know, and I mean, streaming comes second. You know, the people that need the help, they come first, and I'm just very thankful that my community realizes that, you know, and they, like, my schedule's pretty consistent for the most part, but you know, things come up, and you know, I've had streams where I've been on for 30 minutes and I've had to dip out because I was like, look, you know, this person just DM'd me on whatever, and they need somebody to talk to right now. I'll catch y'all on the next stream, and that's it, you know. And that, I mean, that's not an act. That's not a promotion. That's not me trying to just be like, hey, I did this, so you guys need to start, you know, seeing me more often because I did that. That's just the person I am. That hasn't changed, you know. And I know that eventually I'm gonna be where I want to be streaming wise, but it's not gonna be the income bracket. That's not the goal that I'm going for. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, like,
I get you.
I don't care how big I'm gonna make it. I'm never gonna be doing this as a career. I guarantee that. You know, I'll work myself to the ground if I have to, but you know, it's not even about the cash flow. It's not about any of that. It's so emotional and so just, it just makes me so happy just to know that there's people that realize that, you know, like you two, and then you just sit there and you just replicate that inside your own streams. And remember, role models, and I've said that, you know, 100 times, and that's, some people, there's those people that are like, no, role models are police officers and firefighters, and I agree, for sure, that is the case, but this is a different type, and, you know, there is a standard that you have to hold yourself up to, for sure, and a lot of people don't realize that. They think it's just turning on a camera and playing video games, but it's so much more than that.
For sure. And I'm glad that there's people out there who have that kind of why, right? They love to go and help people. And there's also people I've seen that have like a ridiculous work ethic that they just want to go and stream, right? And they're just killing it, right? Like, no matter what their why is, whether they want to go and make money, or they want to be a successful streamer, or they want to go and help people. Like, I've seen everybody who's ever wanted to go and do that have a great work ethic. But at the same time, I've seen people who have said that, like, they'll post that in their Twitch bio or their Twitter bio, like, I want to be the best streamer ever. They'll go and stream maybe like once or twice a week, and then they'll be done in like a month, right?
For sure. And well, I mean, I hate to say it, but that's a good thing. I think, because it's not even like about a competition, but like, I just have that mindset of like, the people that watch me, if they stumble across somebody that's like, not necessarily a bad streamer, because I support people that honestly, they are boring to watch. I'm sorry, I do. And it's not their fault, but I like their personality. I don't care what game they're playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm there for you and for the community that you've built. That's respect. It's not about how good of a streamer you are, but there's so many people out there that are just like, they hit it hard and then they burn out because they just don't get it. They just don't. It doesn't. They don't understand how, not necessarily how much work is involved, but how much of the right work is involved. You know.
No, I get you, man.
Yeah, man. I talk about that too. I think that, you know, needs to be addressed more, is that if you're boring, it's okay. And I'll tell you why it's okay. Because you just said it. The reality is, you still watch them. The point is that when you remain authentic to who you are as a person, you know, you're not having to put on this facade of trying to be positive or trying to be
Right.
that and just doing way too much. The reality is people that are like-minded, maybe boring, just like you, are gonna find you and they're gonna watch you. That's something I see so much is that people are trying to be like so much like this person, that person. They want to move like them. They want to have the same whatever with OBS, the notifications and all this type of stuff like that. And then, and the reality of it, by the time they're done, they get everything set up. They do their stream. They're not even who they are. And that's another reason why they get burnt out is because, you know, they might start off streaming, you know, doing their own thing, being themselves, and then they don't get success within their time frame. 2 weeks, 2 months.
Right.
Okay, let me see who the top streamers are. Let me move like this person, take this and that or whatever. And then they may even get a following for a little bit. And then they sit back and they're like, wait, like,
well, there's a
nobody
lot.
wanted to go ahead.
There's a lot of streamers that, you know, that might even be on our level right now. Not that, I mean, you know, I don't say that to brag. Like, we got a long ways to go, but, you know, we're established, I think. And there's a lot of streamers that hit that level and then they plummet. And the reason that is because they start getting this mindset of that they think that they are somebody and they think that, you know, they are owed this or this. And what it really boils down to is you got to keep being the same person on and off camera. And that's why it's so important, you know, for those people that, like, they once they're established to be that same person off camera, but because you're already that person. It's not like you're not putting on a mask. Like, there's those people that, you know, they put on a pirate costume or they put on a certain, you know, like, what's his name? Dr. Disrespect. That's an outfit. But what it boils down to, he's the same person on and off camera. He's just got a, you know, an appearance change or a voice change, but you're right here and right here. It doesn't matter what you're putting on the Twitch, on the website. It's just so,
for sure.
I don't know. It just bothers me so much when people are just like you can tell who the fake ones are anyway. I mean, we know that, you know, you can see it, you can see right through that, but just bothers me so much because, like, I've experienced it to where I've met people on Twitter and then they'll be in my DMs or they'll be in my tweets and they'll just be talking about all this stuff and I'll be like, dude, that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to checking you out. And I might go drop them a raid or a host or whatever, you know, and I get there and I see right through them. I'm like, man, you catfished me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
I don't know. It's rough.
Isn't that funny how that transitions from, like, just even, like, Twitch streaming to real life?
Hold on one second.
Yeah, no worries.
Right on.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, man. But, like, I just find that funny how, like, there's fake people on Twitch trying to be somebody they're not, and then you can transition into that into real life where you go and see somebody and you can see, like, they're not trying to be themselves, right? They're trying to go and fit in to a certain aspect in their life.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Just, you know, be something they're not, and like you said, you see through them, and the reality is, you know, for whatever reason, if it's because, you know, they get burnt out or their community finally realizes, because I'm like that too. You know, you can try something or whatever, be this person. Like, there's a reason why, like I said, we can see through them. It's because you can only fool your community for so long.
For sure.
You know, eventually they're gonna be like, wait a minute, like, okay, like, this person's all about the dollar bill or whatever and something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, if that's your why, then okay, but the issue is when you lie about it, you know, to the community, and that trust, man, good luck getting it back.
For sure. I mean, that kind of naturally happens anyway. You know, you can only keep up an act for so long, and then it'll just burn out, or you'll mess up. You know, that's why you always see those actors that are saying, you know, they do this charity work, or they do this charity work, or whatever, and then some paparazzi gets a hold of them, and they're like doing meth in an alley. You know, it's just like those people that, you know, that's the same thing to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure, bro.
It's a pretty bad analogy, but it's spot on. I mean, it's just kind of
It is. It's accurate. It's accurate.
left field there.
Mhm.
It's accurate on that, man, for sure. Like, how would you say, as far as, because it's interesting, right? You know, we're talking about it. You know, that border in between, you know, remaining authentic and, you know, bringing value, you know, to your actual stream, like whatever your brand is. I feel like, even though I've known you for, you know, a short amount of time, Salty, is that, like, I don't know, you got it down. Like, it's just simple to see that you're the type of person that you are, and it's just authentic,
Right.
you know, and then just all like the bells and whistles that just crack us up, you know, because I was telling Healthy about you. Let me quick story. I was telling Healthy about you. We were on a Discord call, and I think I rated you last week or something like that. And I was on call. I was like, watch, because I get so excited, man. I get so excited. I'm like, watch. And he's like, all right, man, I'm watching. And like, your expressions, man, and just like your notifications, it's so beyond funny.
Well,
I love it, bro. Like, I
It
love
is.
You know, I just try and have that. That's my biggest thing is, and I try and tell people this all the time, like everybody knows that there's weird people, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, embrace that. Like, I always see, I made all these new streamers, and they'll just be sitting there, and they'll just, oh, hey, man, thanks for coming in, you know, like, no, dude, freak out, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, I don't know, I'm just over the moon anytime anybody comes in, and I think it's important for you to just, like, show that, and don't be afraid of how you show it. Like, I know people that, this is a little side story too. I met a guy, he's a bigger streamer. This is when I first got on Twitch, and every time somebody donated, he would draw, like, do like a, charades or whatever, but he would do like the Pictionary, I guess. That's what it is. He'll do Pictionary on a whiteboard behind him, and like, that was super cool, and I was like, you know what, like, I haven't seen that before, you know, that's weird.
Yeah.
And that's really when it clicked to me. I was like, dude, this is easy. I'm just going to do what I want to do. This is my website. It's free. I'm not paying anybody to be on here, you know, like, I'm going to do this, and if it hits, it hits. If it don't, I'm still going to have fun anyway, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think your energy really sets the pace for the stream altogether, for sure. I think that, you know, if you, like, I know people that, one individual for sure, I'm not gonna say his name. He, I used to play games with him for a long time, and he's, you know, I looked up to him when I first started streaming because he had like 400 followers, and, you know, he had all these views, and I was just like, man, that is awesome. It's like, how'd you get there, you know? And he's like, oh, I just had a lot of friends, you know. I started streaming, and he's averaging like 1 or 2 views, and I was like, man, I don't get it, you know, why, you know? Well, and then I really started watching his streams, and he's just like, hey, what's going on? And some people like that. That's chill, you know, but there was no appreciation. Yeah. There was no, you couldn't see who he was. He wasn't any different than anybody else, you know. And that's what's important. That's the big difference, I think, between Twitch and YouTube altogether, and Twitch and any other platform is, you know, you don't spend the time to, like, if you want to watch a game, you'll play it, or if you want to watch a game and you don't have it, you'll go to YouTube. Like, you don't go to Twitch for games and stuff. You go to Twitch for community and for engagement, I think, and, you know, so that's really what it boils down to, is just being able to make an engagement and a first impression, like you were talking about, Pat. That's what's important, I think, to me.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Like, same. I mean, both of y'all do it. I do it. Like, I was just talking about a minute ago, how I don't know, man, I just get so excited, bro. Like, I get so happy because it's just fun, man. It's just like, oh, man, like, what's going on? You know, whatever. I don't care if it's, you know, Healthy coming in, or you coming in, or like somebody I've never seen before. I'm like, I've been people like have described me as over the top gratitude, and like
There's no better compliment. Like,
yeah, and the great thing about it is just that, it's labeled as over the top gratitude, and for me, it's just normal, which is the best thing about it, right? It's just like, whoa, you're here, man. Like, man, what's going on? How you been? Right. How's the dog? Like, tell me what you've been doing. I want to hear everything. And when you're just that genuine, and you're not just forcing any of it, it's just that's who you are, and you just want to know so much about your community and let them know that you care and that you're there for them, stuff like that. That's when everything happens. Like, the issue is that everybody wants to make, a lot of these people want to be a partner or stuff like that in 6 months, or 3 months, and like they plan for it to happen in 6 months, and it takes 6 years. Like, I love what you said the other day, how you're like, man, I'm prepared to do this for 10 years.
Right.
Like, I remember I admired that. You have no idea. Like, I think I was actually may have been talking to Healthy too, maybe at the time. I was like, man, I admire that so much, and like, the thing about it is, when you're prepared to do it for 10 years, that's what happens in 2.
Right.
That's the way it works.
Well, it's important. I know a lot of people that they start streaming, right? And then they go, like, look, I still got this headset. I've had this headset for 4 years since I started. I bought a webcam, and I just recently bought 2 monitors. That's the only thing I've invested in my stream, is a webcam and 2 monitors. And the reason that is because, I know a lot of people that go in and then they get the best webcam, the best microphone, the best headset. They get all this gear, and if you need it and you want to start doing it, you need to get the basics or whatever. But you can get a lot further investing what you would have money-wise into time on yourself and the people around you, And I know a lot of people that they stream every single day, and they stream for, 6 or 7 hours a day, which there's no value in that when there ain't enough time in the day for you to be a good person and see everybody else and learn from them if you're sitting there streaming every single day. There ain't no way. You can't invest any time. You're not improving. You're just sitting at a standstill. You're not going anywhere but right there. And like a lot of people, that gets me fired up, that 6-month partner thing. I know a lot of people like that, but like, that's the thing. Like, people that hit partner, like, they don't stop. Like, they don't hit partner and they're like, all right, I'm here, we're done. We're there. We don't have to do anything. Like, they're doing the same stuff we're doing right now. They're just doing it on a bigger scale. And that's what's important. It's like we're talking about, like-minded and, not size. Like, you can't look at the numbers. You have to look at the person. And because if you believe in that person, somebody and a group of people will eventually, believe in that person, and they're going to grow. And then, even if they don't say anything to you ever again, you just know as soon as you pop in that stream, you're going to be like, hey, dude, way to go. Your stream's looking great. I'm so proud of you, or whatever, and that's going to mean something to them. Your job's done. Literally, like, you've made an impact. You feel good about it. It's over. Like, you don't have to look at anything past that. It's just so dang simple. I just don't.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Especially when you're just of that mindset. It's extremely, like I said, it's extremely simple for us. Okay, and like the rest of the stuff, like, whatever. Yeah. Like, that's the reason why you were talking about how that when you're playing a game, how you got 2 kills the other night.
Right.
Like, the other day, I'm streaming, and one of my friends came in there, and she was like, I don't think you ever play games. Do you actually play games? And I was cracking up. Like, it was hilarious to me. And like, I get it. It's because if the chat's like going crazy or something like that, or people like talking, man, Healthy knows. Like, I'll put that game on pause so quick. Like, man, I've done it so, dude. There's been times I literally streamed the game for 10 minutes, literally. Literally 10 minutes, and the rest of the time it was just talking to the chat, dude. I love it. I just love it so much.
See, I was a big World of Warcraft player. I know, super nerd coming out.
It's all good.
That was my big game, and they got this new expansion that comes out, and I was telling everybody that's coming to my channel, I was like, yeah, you guys better be prepared. I'm gonna be on WoW all the time. I'm gonna be hitting it. And I was so ready, dude. I probably put like 4 hours into that game, and I haven't picked it up since because you can't get anywhere because I'm too busy streaming. Like I ain't even playing the game, I'm just standing there, like
Right.
I'd be running circles in the same place, not knowing where I'm supposed to go. Anyway, here we
Yeah, I know, man, and that's what it is. It's gratitude because I'm thinking about a couple games that are gonna come out, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to I don't know, find a 30 minutes or an hour to play this off stream. There's no way I can play this on stream
for sure.
Like with the type of game it is, it's just like I'm not letting anything slip by in the chat. I don't know, man. I just want to engage with everyone. I know that's as we grow, that's more so your moderators help with a lot of that stuff. Right. It's just nah, man, I don't know. I want every single person, whether they're talking in the chat, whether they stop by to say hi, whether they're lurking. Like I said this the other night, if you even think about coming to my stream, I'm thankful.
For sure.
It's the thought, man. I don't know.
Dude, I relate to that big time because there's so many people I feel like that just look at it and they're like I met this, you might know her, I'm not gonna say her name, but she started a community and she's a lurker. That's what she does. But she's busy just like everybody else, you know what I mean? And I've met her. She's a super awesome person. She's super supportive. But everybody bashes on her for just lurking, And I mean, it's just like everybody's time is valuable, and every way you use it, depicts where you're gonna be in life and in mindset and as a person,
For sure.
And so any amount of support, whether it's just a retweet or it's just a freaking reply to a tweet trying to keep the conversation going, or just being active in a Discord or whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. That is so over the top, awesome. For people to even, like you said, think about it. I can't stand those people that are just, oh, you haven't been around here, what's going on? Bashing them for it. No. That is, you don't go up to your mom and say, hey, you didn't send me anything for my birthday. You don't do that.
Should better not, boy. That's my mama.
I just don't get it. It's just so.
Yeah.
Just frustrating.
Dude, I feel you, man. That's all it grinds my gears so much, bro. It's just that the lack of perspective, man. Who the heck, do you think you are, man? How could you? Dude, somebody took the time out of their day. Period. Somebody took the time out of their day to do whatever. Yep. Retweet, lurk, come by and literally wave a hand, say something kind about you on Twitter. I mean,
for sure.
It all means so much. I'm so thankful for all of it because I think, people just don't realize just how much is out here, like you were saying. I don't have a number on me, but I know it's, I'll lowball it. I know it's more on this, but there's tens of thousands of streamers.
Right.
And I know it's extremely, low number. It's just man, for somebody to take their time to do any of it, for you to not just be over the moon and just grateful. I don't know, man. I'll run through walls for anybody, man. I was talking about this last night. There's a chick that always retweets. It literally seems like she retweets every tweet that I post.
Right.
And she, may have acknowledged herself in my stream twice. I literally don't care. Right. I'm so grateful that she, I don't know, man.
Well, let's see. That's that might be all she can do. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
That's why I don't get it. People are just well, you followed me, but you've never been by, or you only retweet my stuff. It's look, that's all I can offer. I'm giving you my best. That's all. If you can't respect that, I'll give it to somebody else, and that's what I do. I'm sorry. I've had people in my DMs and on Discord, and they're just hey, we're doing a special event. type, thing. I'd really like to see it to stream. I'm like, yeah, man, I'll try and stop by or whatever. And then, I got a family. I got stuff to do. I'm busy. I set away time for everything. And I'm like, look, this comes first, whatever. But I don't tell them that because they're busy. They're worried about their stream. I'm not going to bother them with my business right now. I'll drop alert. I might come in and drop, a couple dollars worth of bits or whatever, and then I'll be on my way. Well, then they'll hit me up the next day and they'll say, hey, man, I didn't see you chatting, at all or whatever, and I'm just like, all right, well, sorry, I guess. And dude, I don't follow them right then. I'm sorry. Like, I can't be around that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just people. I hate to say this, but people suck, and some people suck less. That's really what it boils down to, because we're all flawed. Like, I'm flawed. I got a lot of problems I got to work on. I'm growing as a person just like everybody else.
Yeah,
but
I've got a bunch.
yeah, and like, I suck a little less than this guy, and that's cool. That's a positive thing for me, Like, that's kind of a negative way to look at it, but I don't know. It works.
Right, for sure, man. Like, I don't know, like every single person, we all suck. Like, at a lot of stuff. I talk about it on stream all the time. Like, I suck at a lot. Like, think about like so much, man. I have so many stories. The great thing about it is, it's just I know who I am, and I'm happy with who I am, and I'm very narrow. I'm extremely narrow. Healthy knows this. Like, we might be going over topics or something like that, or just hanging out. Healthy knows like where I'm at. I'm like a horse with blinders. I can't see behind me because I can't dwell, and I can't. I know what I know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know 10, 12, 13 things. All right, and that's what I stick to. Everything else is I'm not gonna go outside and speak on this because I don't like to speak from a place of not knowing. Right. I need to speak from a place of knowing and going through it. And I think that's another issue with a lot of streamers, especially as they're starting. They're trying to do way too much.
Yes.
And then the reality is that there's going to be somebody in your community, either the first day or the 6 months from now that actually knows about whatever that is. And you might get into it talking to them. It's just like, man, what are you talking about?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea what you're talking about, dude.
For sure. For sure. Like, I don't know. To me, it's more about if you look at it from a sense of who you surround yourself with, it's really easy. I hate to say it, but to cull out the bad and really focus on who's important. And when you go and look at, like, I don't know, it's just so easy to build a connection with somebody. It's like so easy. Like, all you gotta do is just take an interest in them, like, it's even if you don't vibe with them, just that little bit. If you're there and you're like, well, we don't really see eye to eye, or I don't really like the kind of vibe you're giving me, like, that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, and I know people that, they have this huge net of people that they want to support, right? And they want to stop in their streams all the time and blah, 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 all this stuff. And they have that mindset in the back of their head, and we all know it, that they're just sitting there and they're just saying, like, I know they're going to stop by my stream. That's the only reason I'm here. And those people, I'm sorry. They
don't win.
You're out. Like, I might retweet your stuff a couple times maybe, but I mean, other than that, like, I ain't stopping by your stream. My community won't know you. I'm sorry. As soon as you change, that'll change. But I mean, that's really what it boils down to. You got to be loyal to the people that are around you, and they'll take off that load for you in a lot of ways.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. And like you said, it's taking an interest, like you said, in the person who you're chatting to, for example, you talk to somebody, I mean, I'm sure both of y'all do this. I don't know. I do it. If somebody is in my stream, might be their first time there, whatever, we're talking back and forth. They're cool. They're just starting streaming. Not like I'm a big streamer or anything like that, but hey, man, if you're going live or something, like, tag me. At least I can at least retweet it.
Right.
Yep.
Like I may not be able to make it there because I work 12 hours a day, but I may be able to at least retweet it. Maybe help you get whatever, at least in, you know, some eyes or something, you know, on your stream. I feel you though, man. Just any way I can help out, I will. You know, to the best of my ability. And like you said, time management is a huge deal. I know for sure that I can improve in that with that, you know, in so many ways as we all can. But it's just like, man, if you're looking down your list at people, you know, who are streaming, it's just like, man, like, oh, I love all these people. Like, I don't know. I wish I could go into all these streams right now, talk to all of them, man. It's tough, bro.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
It's tough.
it's just nuts that, to me, that, like, I hate that those people that I hate saying hate too, but
Right.
it gets me fired up. It's just those people that, like, they're trying to only be there because they want to get something from you. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. I know a lot of people that are hanging out with like huge streamers, and you know, and they're just thinking like, you know, one day it's gonna host me or raid me or something, and then I'm gonna grow. Then I'm gonna, you know.
Yeah.
No, you just. I mean, like, this is how I got my start. All right, I found 2 or 3 streamers out of a small streamer community that were about the same size as me, view count wise, or a little bit bigger, and I got lucky and I vibed with them instantly. That, you know, that's not gonna happen every time, but I met those people, and I mean, literally just built that relationship, you know, and it wasn't even like I know people that get mad because they're like, oh, I thought you know, I thought you were gonna host me the other night, like, you know, I thought you were gonna do that. Like, what do you mean? No. What do you mean, fool? Like,
Yeah.
like,
No,
Really?
I hear you, man. I've had those exact same people. I think both me and Pat, like, we've talked to each other. Like, we'll get DMs from people like, "Hey, man, can you host me? Can you host me when I stream tomorrow? Can you,
Yes, bro.
can you shout me out on your Twitter?" And it's like, that's cool if we're vibing, right? Like, if you want a shout out or whatever. But like, if I don't know you from nothing, like, even just going and asking for a shout out, like, that's, I don't know what you would call that, kind of petty.
Yeah, no,
You know what I
sure.
mean? Like, if I want to shout you out, I'll totally shout you out.
Yeah.
Right?
So, like,
Yeah.
you know, honestly, and this might be, you know, a biased way to look at it, but like, I feel like me and Tex have been tagged in a few of them, but you know, those follow Friday tweets or those shout out tweets where there's a bunch of tags going on, right? Those are awesome, and I appreciate them, like, over the moon, because that I would even be considered with that. But I don't even look at that as a promotion thing. I look at it as this group of people in this tweet, we need to get to know each other. Like, that's how I see it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's not even like that person's like trying to get me somewhere. It's just like, look, I like you. You should like these people, and that's exactly what it should be about. You know?
I love that take, bro. I love that take, man. Oh, that's so true. That is so true. Oh man, that was fire. Yeah, agreed, man. Like, agreed. It's like, you know, I guess in a way, I thought of it like that, you know, because I would, but like the way you worded it was just perfect, man. It is true. It's true. That's a great way to put it, dude.
Well, you flip that, and then you got people that, you know, they're going live and they tag 10 people in their tweets, right? And that's fine. I'll help out, whatever. But there's also those people that have never talked to me. You know, I've never met them. They don't even follow me. Like, what do you mean you want me to retweet your stuff? Like, I don't know you.
Yeah,
like,
I've got those too. Yeah.
But what sucks, and I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I still retweet them. I don't know what it is.
Right on.
I just do it. I just whatever. Carry on.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
care. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just caring. I think like the only thing I'll do now, because I'll get those too from time to time. It's just like, I don't know, like, let me actually like just, I don't know, watch 5 minutes of his stream.
Right.
Like, I just don't know what he's got going on. Like, he can say something crazy. I mean, and regardless of how anybody looks at it, it is a reflection on you.
For sure. For sure.
You know,
For sure it is.
Like Salty co-signs this guy. Like this dude is just, he's doing everything wrong. Like,
Yeah.
So I feel you on that though, brother. You know, 1,000%. I think also for me too, it's just that, you know, healthy or whatever. I look at it just because I don't care, man. Like if Healthy comes in my stream, he starts talking about
Yep.
his stream. I just don't care. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, bro, when you streaming again? Like, tell me about it. What you got going on?
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
That's so.
And
It's so important, though. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's because like, I mean, you've been in my stream. Like, I just say like, don't post links, and the reason I say don't post links is because I get distracted and I go click on it. Like, I don't even. Like, but like, you know, I do verbal shout outs. You know, most of the time because my mods are streamers or whatever. But what it really boils down to is, you know, the people that are going to support you most of the time are going to be streamers, and you just need to face the facts there. Like, if you,
For sure.
you know, like put them first. Like, hey, you know, you guys definitely like. I don't know. It's just so easy for you to just. It's easier for me to talk about somebody else than it is myself, and I think that's a strength, you know. So I should use that instead of just sit there and just twiddle my thumbs and say, yeah, you know, I guess you can talk about your stream." Like, no, dude, I want to hear about it. Like, teach me something. You know what I mean? Like, that's the definition of ignorance, is just being so blissful. You're just like, I don't want to hear anything you got to say. You don't know nothing. You don't know anything more than me. Like, that is like those people. I'm done. I'm not around those at all, and that's like and I talk about that all the time. It's like education, you know, can go so far, but it's more along the lines of just you got to value yourself, and then you have to value what you're teaching yourself, more or less. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be sitting there, like, time management, back to that. You can't be sitting there watching cat videos jumping from cucumbers. Like, you can't be doing that if you really want to, you know, be somebody one day, you know? Like,
don't get me started, bro.
Like, I mean, those videos are funny, but, like, it's wasteful. It's not, I don't know. It's just so, like, for me personally, before I get on, like, when I ran out to the store when we did this Discord call, I was listening to motivational YouTube videos in the car, here and back. And that gets me fired up. I do that all the time. Like, before my streams, I spent about 30 minutes back, and I'm just like, I'm getting pumped, I'm getting focused, I get in the zone. I did that when I played football, you know. That's just me. I don't know if that helps for everybody, but
For sure.
You got to get down to your roots, I think, and that's you got to see what you're comfortable with, and then translate that to your channel. That's what's important.
Yeah, for sure, man. That, like, I agree. I co-sign everything you just said too, for sure. Yeah, I agree. For me, it's just, and I tell this to people too, that, you know, they may be going through stuff or whatever in a situation that it's really hard for them to get out of. I'm like, man, like, you got to have like a loop in your head of positivity. Like, if you're surrounded by negativity in your head, it has to be positive. Otherwise, you're just not gonna. You're gonna be in a world of trouble. So, you know, with that being said, like, I get it. Like, and I love hearing those type of people. Healthy now, like, we listen to certain people that's just, man, I just love hearing that person speak. Like, you know, you were talking about Eric Thomas. Love Eric Thomas. You know, love you know, Gary Vaynerchuk. Love this person. So that's really important. Yeah, as far as, that's my whole thing, is that, you know, Twitch is what you make it. You know, everybody has a shot to do whatever, build their community, stuff like that. The whole not putting in the work and then complaining that you're not grown. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you hinted at it, and it's just Healthy knows. I ran about it so much because it drives me like you watched the whole season of Narcos in a weekend. Like, are you kidding me? Like, how do you, and you're complaining like you don't have time to do, like, you watched the entire season? Like, you didn't go to sleep. And it's just like, that's my whole thing. And you know how it is, Salty. Healthy, same thing. When you work, when you have a lot of stuff going on, you know, family, like you said, you've got a spouse and a kid, Salty, work, everything else that we don't know, Healthy, myself. It's just like, when it comes down to, okay, what do you want to do? Okay, do you want to watch Netflix, or do you want to put time to this streaming thing? Like, what is more important to you? And it's just, there's too many excuses going on of people that actually do have time to do it, and that they're choosing to use their time for the wrong reasons. I mean, like, your ambition and your work ethic, like, it isn't matching up. Like, like, you have to put in the work, no matter what you're trying to do in life. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that 100% for sure.
like doctors don't just become doctors. Like you have to go to school for a really long time.
Yep.
And it shouldn't be easy. Like anything worth like this, the 21-hour days, Saucy, I relate so much, man. And it's just like it's so worth it because it goes back to like being able to help somebody, you know, when they're having it trumps the financial, it trumps it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it trumps all of it. That's what it is.
For sure.
That's how you get through when you're on 3 hours of sleep. It's just like, oh man, like I love this community. Like this community loves me. Like whatever. I'm just gonna have to make it work.
I don't know if this is important, but I figured it up the other day on the money that I've made and the hours I've put in. You know, you can look at that on your analytics or whatever. I make less than 10 cents an hour streaming. Like,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's not even about that. It's just like, this is my therapy. That's how I treat it. Like, you know, I'm growing as a person, and by being here and giving everybody that's around me my best and getting to know them, like just being that role model and being that positive influence to them, like that, dude. Like, I'm just so tired of those people that are, you know, like you said, wasting their time, but like those people that think that they're not going to grow because they don't have any money, like they can't invest like any of this. Like, okay, and like, what do you mean? Like, you can invest in yourself. Like, that's the biggest investment anyway, you know. It's just, I mean, literally, YouTube's free, Twitch is free, you know, Google's free. Like, the information is there. Like, you can do it. You're just not, because you're too busy, like, you know, messing with some girl that's like, you know, whatever. Like get out of here with that. Like, this, I don't know. I just can't stand that. Because that's really what it boils down to me. Like,
I know it.
You're growing as a person, and you're using Twitch to better that. Like I consider streaming a self-improvement in that sense, you know, because like I open up every stream. I feel like I open up more every stream, and that was a big thing for me to do, because I grew up as a, you know, a popular, you know, sport playing kid or whatever, but I was always a super nerd. I didn't care, you know, but I was bashful about that. Like, I didn't want people to know that, and I was so just, you know, whatever, and that's the biggest thing. At the end of the day, if I ever had to thank Twitch or the community or the people or anything that I've benefited from this, it's being able to look back and say, I was, you know, ashamed of who I was, and now I'm not. Like, that's like, I always had the same positive like mindset, and I'd help anybody I could, but I was always like, I belittled myself, I think, for a long time.
I guess you
know, so for me to just be able to use this as a way to improve on that, I think that's, I don't know, there's just so much gain. There's just it's all there, you know. It's so easy just to, you just got to boil down. You just got to sit back and look at it and just say, today was a good day. Like, those people that are like, man, you know, I had a flat tire today. You know, I went to work. I found out that we're not going to be working next week. It's like, what are you going to do tomorrow? Like, that's what's important. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to finish the rest of the day with? Like, you can't sit there and worry about, like, I post that all the time. Like, people are always worried about, like, where they're at now and what they're going to be doing later, and it's just like, just focus on what you want to do. Like, goals are super important, but you can't have those goals that are way out of reach. Like, you can't be like, I want to hit partner in 6 months, like you were talking about, right? Like, how are you going to do that? Tell me how you're going to get there.
Yeah, tell me.
You know,
tell me.
Like,
they can't.
They
can't. It's like they just can't, for sure. It's self-awareness. Like, that's what it is. You know, like I said, you played sports growing up. I played sports, still played, you know, soccer growing up, whatever. Like I can dribble a basketball all I want. I'm not gonna be LeBron James.
Right.
Like, it's self-awareness. Like, we know, like, when we're by ourselves and we look in the mirror, like, we know what we can and can't do. Okay. So, like, you have to keep that in mind, you know, for sure. So I can't be like anyone else because that's not me.
Right.
You know, so you have to keep that, like, you know, so much at the top of your list. It's just because if not, you'll end up being somewhere you don't want to be because, you know, you lost sight of what was most important in the beginning. So like with
Sure.
you, how you said with that you belittled yourself before you started streaming. It's just like, isn't that funny? Like how that happened, but then you started streaming and then you realize how many people value you.
Right.
Like it's so fascinating, man.
And
Like it's
that's
so
the thing.
fascinating, dude. Like you may have belittled yourself, but like this person comes to your stream, this person DMs you, like, dude, like you inspired me, man. Like you helped me go through a rough patch, man. Like I had some real life stuff going on, bro. Like
For sure.
keep doing what you're doing, and that's something like in the most humble way I can say it. Like that's something that I've been hearing a lot lately that people have been saying to me is keep doing what you're doing. Like say no more.
For sure.
Like say no more. It's just it's gratitude. And it's just why we do it. It's this whole Twitch is absolutely amazing. Like it's this whole platform is just amazing. I don't know how else to describe it.
And see, that's like, I know a lot of people that are just like, well, Twitch isn't going to be around forever, and that may be true. I don't know about y'all, but I can't predict the future. I don't know. But what I do know is that, you know, I'm not going to call anybody out in chat. I'm trying to, but Joker and Silent Wrath, I know that if I hit them up, you know, wherever, like, that connection's always going to be there. If Twitch disappears or, you know, we never talk to each other again, we're still going to be like, it's just going to be like a high school reunion or whatever, you know? It was there, and it's just, it's so nuts to me that people don't take advantage of that. They just think it's all about numbers, and they sell themselves short, and I can't stand that. I hate it. It's just people just they don't think that they're worth anything, you know. And
I know it.
Everybody is. You bring something to the table. Everybody does.
Absolutely, everybody does, man. Every single person. I completely agree. I completely agree. It's like no, like, and if you're dealing like with that self hate and like you just don't like yourself, but like you're actually being yourself. That's when that person goes into your stream. That's when that person reaches out to you and thanks you for doing whatever. And it's just like, wait, like really? Like I had this? Like people notice this about me, and then this person does, and that person does. Wait, no, like wow, like no matter how I feel about myself, like this person values me.
For
like
sure.
I okay, like I am worth something, for sure, man. Like everybody is.
No, it's just
Everybody
like the reason I feel like the reason people don't think that is because they surround themselves with the people that put them down. You know, they're not picking them up, so they start to believe that. You know, like, I mean, I ain't trying to get real personal, but like I grew up around that, you know, and like that I was never gonna be somebody, and I was never gonna, achieve anything, and when I was a kid, yeah, that probably hurt, but I look at it now and just like laugh, like, what was I thinking? Like, I was 8 years old. Like that don't matter now. Like, I'm here now, like. And I know all these people that just they spend their time and they're just like, nobody comes to my stream because I'm boring. And it's like, no, nobody comes to your stream because you don't offer anything to them that they appreciate or that you appreciate out of them. More importantly, you don't. It's just so easy for you to just value yourself. That's what's important. It drives me nuts. Like I can't stand that. Like it's just so easy for you to just look at it and say, today was a good day. I'm gonna do better tomorrow, but I did freaking awesome today. Like pat yourself on the back, and like some people think that's like being cocky or whatever, but it's not. Like that's. I mean, I guess there's an extent to it. There are some guys, but like I just hate when people sell themselves short. It's just it bothers me so much. Like
I feel you, man. I feel you for sure, and all you can do is just encourage that person, encourage those that group of people, and like you said, what you did was just great. You talked about your personal experience, and it's like, man, like shoot, like okay, like that sucked. Like at the time, like everybody has stuff going on, everybody has a story, It's
Right.
like right on. I'm an adult now. I can make my own decisions. Like
Yeah.
I can learn about stuff myself. I can go about things the right way. Like
Hmm.
you get to one point where you just can't keep on blaming stuff on your past. You have to take ownership of what you're doing now, and ownership of okay, you want to do this. Okay, like you said, how am I good? How am I going to get there?
Right.
You have to be
Mm,
realistic.
Yeah.
mhm.
Like
For sure. I mean, priorities are important, and I think that priorities and goals to me are the same thing. What I think is more important of establishing, because your goals are going to change, right? Like
Mhm.
your what you want to accomplish is always, it's either going to improve or it's going to dwindle down because you're not reaching that yet, and you want to get somewhere first. So I always talk about doing like little goals, unlimited amount of time. Like that's what's important. Like in the back of your mind, you can be saying like, I want to hit it by here, but you can't feel that way if it doesn't make it. Like you just got to say, I'm going to do my best to get there.
Yeah.
If it don't, it's okay. But to me, values are
Sweet.
more important because those don't change. Like,
Mm,
deep down what you think of, and how you feel about everybody around you and whatever you take pride in, like that's always going to be there. That will never change, and it shouldn't change. And if it does change, then you haven't found your true values yet, and that's what it boils down to. And that's
mhm.
I
that's the
like that.
that's the biggest leap I think towards streaming or content creation or networking, whatever, is just figuring out who you are as a person, and what you look for in friends and in role models, and yourself, more importantly, and then
Mm,
grow on that and build around that. Like bring those people in with those same values. Like I got a sub goal, and I got I just opened up a donation goal. Matter of fact, I don't want the money though, but the time frame on it, dude, it's like 2025 or something, like like you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like
right.
I ain't worried
yeah.
about it. It'll be there one day. If it's not, it's cool.
Mhm.
But it's so easy for me to talk about that, I guess, because I know in my back corner I have the people that think the exact same, like YouTube, for example. Like
Mhm.
it's just,
Mm,
I don't know, you really bring out the best in yourself when you bring out the best in others, and that's,
Oof,
if that doesn't show,
fire.
then I don't know. It's just so easy.
and that's the kind of people you'd want to be around, right? When you're kind of forcing each other to be the best version of
For
yourself,
sure. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right.
All the time. All the time. Like I don't know. Like I want to talk to y'all all the time.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
No, I hear you, man.
that's how it is. It's so like you were saying, Salty. It's so interesting when you do, you meet somebody. It's just like I loved it when I was in your stream the other day, and you were doing a great job. And it's just like you were talking to me, and you were explaining, what was on your mind, and you were like I know you get it. And then like it made me
Right.
smile, like
Right.
because I'm just like, dude, I'm
Mm,
like, yes, like it ends so fun, right? It's like, man, I want to type so much.
Yeah.
And it's just like I love it. It's that connection, man. It's the best, man.
For sure, man.
It's the best feeling.
I mean, it's just like, I think what it really boils down to is people just aren't using the resources and the tools around them to their advantage. Like I know people that retweet, what are those retweet to gain or whatever. I'm talking about, like those retweet and like
Those
this.
trains?
oh yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, I don't even have any sympathy for that anymore. Anytime I see somebody retweet that, I unfollow that person immediately. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I want to sit there and just say, like, you need to be like this, but you can't. You can't waste your time on those people. And that goes back to the trying to change people's minds. Like, I don't know. It's just so,
Yeah.
like, some people get it and some people don't, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
get it part is different for every individual. Like, it's not,
Hmm.
Mm,
like there's people on Twitch that just like, pro gamers, or they like, they like really, really funny content, and that's perfectly fine, but then doesn't mean that I need to be in that like niche of people. Like I need to be with the people that their community knows how positive they are and how important they are to that streamer and all that, and then they get translated into somebody else's world, I guess, content, and
I
they're
get
like
you.
they get the same like I feel like it's just a big family, you know, like that's cousin Joe Bob, that you know, like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
for sure, and that's the thing too, right? It's like, we are all, three different people as far as just interests.
right,
I don't know, lifestyle. Like, you know, healthy is healthy. Like, and I've, I hang out with my rooster, and it's just, but but at the core mindset, we're all the same. And that's that's the coolest thing about it is, man, like you've got your own, both of y'all have your own things going on in your streams. But when it comes down to, it's like the core, I can go to either of y'all streams and I can say something to y'all and we're going to be on the same page, mentally. And that's absolutely incredible, dude. Like,
it's just
that's so fun.
like for me, for like respecting, as far as respect and I guess like looking up to people, like I'll look up to people that are younger than me, you know, or have been doing it in a shorter amount of time, and that's because I appreciate them as a person, you know. Like I feel like there's a lot of people that have the wrong role models just because they think that they're established or that they've done this for so long, like even offside of Twitch, just like, you know, like your boss, like a lot of people look up to their bosses and I mean, you know, kiss butt just to try and get ahead, but you can't look at it that way. You got to just start somewhere and just kind of branch out. It doesn't matter how big that person is or how little that person is or young or old or whatever.
Exactly.
You know, the core values are always there. Like that doesn't change. And I don't know. I just those people that just try and take advantage of the system and they're just like, you know, wow, that just got like 300 viewers. I want to be there. I'm gonna go hang out on that guy's channel. And then they get there, and he's talking about like the most negative, nasty, you know, like they still there though. Like they still there, like thinking, I'm gonna get a host, I'm gonna get a raid. You know what? No, get out. Like your community's not gonna appreciate that. Like I don't know. This drives me nuts. Well, I don't know. Like Tex, I don't know if you were there the other day, but that guy is the night I got hacked. Actually, no, it wasn't. It's the time before that. Some dude was talking about how, you know, the only way to grow on Twitch now is to have that that like negative humor, like the like sarcastic humor. And I was just like, that's not true at all. Like there is a group of people that like that, but they don't mean nothing. That don't mean that's the only way to do it. Like, you know, I know where I am in my heart and right here. Like I ain't straying from that. I'm gonna keep being me, and if I get there, I get there. If I don't, I'm still here. Like I'm the same person. That's what.
Facts.
That's what's important, you know.
Facts for sure. I wasn't in that. I didn't hear that. But it's true for sure. Like no, like I don't have to do this to nope. I'm not gonna veer from who I am. And like I don't know. I know it's right because you know we, like I said again, saying it so humbly, we have had the pleasure of helping people.
For sure.
And man, you get that feeling, man, like all that garbage, man, I don't want to be part of it. Right. Like I'm not supporting that. I'm not surrounding myself with that, you know. In my personal life, you know, as far as just streaming everything, man, I surround myself with folks, like-minded people. I have to. And I'm sure I know Healthy has, I'm sure you too saw, like real life, whether it's that friend, whether it was that whoever, like that one cousin or something like that, was just like, man, like I can't hang around you like that, man. Like you're not, nope, you're just whatever. You might try to encourage that person at first,
right?
It doesn't work. You know, like you say, you just can't convince somebody. Like if that switch ain't flipped, like you're literally, you know, you're spinning your tires in mud.
For sure.
So for sure, you have to be yourself. And I've cut off a bunch of people in my life like that. And guess what? Like the reason why, you know, we can have these 20, 21 hours days is because we're happy.
For sure.
And I have to be happy, man. Like everybody does. Like people like hate themselves and stuff like that. And they do this and that. And it's just, man, they're not happy. Like you need like patience for anything that's worth having in life, you know. And like took me a year to, go through the hiring process and everything to get onto my job. I've been there almost 7 years now. The reason why I can work 12 hours is because I love it.
Right.
Like I couldn't be there 12 hours if I didn't love what I do. It just fuels everything else, man. So that's my whole thing too. I just want everybody to be happy.
No, that's a really good point, and I agree 100%. Because I mean, like, even just put Twitch aside, like what you do daily, like the way you wake up in the morning, like the way you look at the day and what you're gonna be, faced with, like that's got to be stuff that you're excited about or what you're looking forward to, or it's just gonna burn you down. Like you're not gonna be.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, like
For sure.
I hate Mondays or whatever. Like, oh, we got another long week at work. Like, you need to find another job, or you need to find something. Like, just do it. It's nuts,
man. You hitting home, bro. I'm so passionate about it, man. Like, I think what it is. I think folks like they forget quickly just how much they are in control of.
Yep.
Like, Can you please explain to me who is forcing you to work at that job you hate?
Mm-hmm.
Please explain to me someone that is forcing you to be there. Like, tell me.
Yep.
That's my whole thing, man. Like, like some of the best advice I got, growing up, just from my dad, like work-wise, figure it out and be happy. Like, that sounds like extremely basic advice, but you don't understand like how much that helped me. Like, okay, like figure it out and be happy.
Yeah.
Cool. And thankfully, I have.
It's so simple. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, some people, like I said, some people just get it. Some people don't. It's just one of those deals that you can't teach everybody, and it's gotta, pray or hope or whatever, whatever helps. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's like, the saying is like, bless her heart or whatever, bless his heart, like.
Yeah, we know about that one.
Like, that's so, I don't know. It's so simple, but like, that's how life is, like.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just.
Oh man. Yeah, for sure. Heard a lot of that growing up.
I just want to, take those people and I just want to just like shake them, just like.
Yeah.
Listen, like, do you hear what you're saying? Like, it's so.
Exactly.
All the time, just like, I've been streaming every day, ain't nobody came in. And, I'm really funny. I was doing this giveaway, and nobody came by to win the giveaway. It's like, nobody knows you because you ain't trying to meet anybody, man. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what you mean? Everybody just expects everything to be handed to them all the time. That drives me nuts, man. Like,
I was in a Discord for 4 months. I went into every one of their streams. I did this and that. I donated $1 to this person, just like that. I never gotten any support back. Like, the reason why you lost is because what you said in the beginning, like you joining the Discord or whatever in hopes, like you said, of going to some big streamer. Oh, one day he'll notice me. Mm-hmm. He's gonna raid me. He's gonna do this, and like you said, and then I'm gonna become, whatever. And it's just like, no, man. Like, just put out good. Like, I don't know, care and love on people, and good stuff happens. Like, period. Like, I don't care. Like, if I didn't have, the whatever success, you know what I'm trying to say. It's just like when you don't like talking about yourself like that, it's just you're trying to figure out how to word things. But like the success, whatever, that I've had so far, it's just like, man, I'd still be doing what I'm doing, like,
right.
For sure. It's doing it for, the right reasons. The issue with doing anything just for the money is just that if in 3 months you don't see money, like, you're gonna quit.
And dude, honestly, that's good. Like, I hate to say it, like, I want everybody to be able to stream and just enjoy it and, reach all those goals that they want to do and be the person they want to be and grow the community they want. But it really boils down to it, like, some people got it, some people don't, and that sucks for the people that don't got it. But I mean, it's kind of glad too if you're just cluttering up the system. Like I just look at it, Twitch as a whole is like, it's so much more than gaming. Like, it's just like, like I feel like I owe Twitch in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I owe the people that are around me, and I, you know, and just everybody I meet, but I owe Twitch especially because like it's just it's so important to just believe in what you're doing, you know. And a lot of people just sit there and they go to this 9-to-5 job or whatever, and they just hate it, and then they come home and then they hate their living conditions, and then they hate their car, they hate their, you know, whatever, but they don't do nothing about it. Like they just settle. Like,
brother. They don't do anything about it, man. Like for sure, like you said, with that whole deal, like feeling like you owe Twitch, right? It's just like you're so thankful. It's the same way somebody complains about their job and stuff like that, and it's just like you, like myself, like being happy. It's like extremely grateful. It's like y'all can complain if y'all want to. Like this place changed my life.
Right.
Like I don't know, Twitch has changed our lives for the better. Like we're able to talk to people like nightly, daily. Come on, man. Like stop it. Like show some freaking gratitude, man. Like they just focus on the negative. Oh well, Twitch changed this. It takes you 15 days longer to get. You know what I mean? Like they're like focusing on all the bad. It's just like really, like have some freaking perspective.
Adapt and overcome. That's
it.
You know.
That's it.
Well, honestly, like I'm glad you brought that up because like everybody's talking about how like communities are going away, right? So like, you know, like Team B42 and Twitch Kittens and, you know, Hell's Army, all of them, you know, like those are the big ones I think of. That community is further than Twitch. Like that's in relationships, that's in connections. But there's also, you flip that, there's those communities that are doing host for hosts and you know, and lurking for lurk, all that stuff. Like that's what Twitch is trying to get rid of. They're trying to get rid of those communities that are boosting numbers and boosting people to those levels when they don't deserve to be there. Because and you know, like I was saying, like Twitch is essentially like it's got a standard to uphold, you know. And when somebody clicks on a partnered streamer that like doesn't look like they know what they're doing at all, and it's the only reason they got there is because they boosted their numbers by, you know, view bots or people just like opening up a tab and running it 24/7. Like that's the reason they changed that. And like some people don't get it. They just think about me, but they don't see the big picture. Like they don't. I don't know. It drives me nuts.
Facts. And like you said, like when, you know, you're of the right mindset, like you said, you just adjust and adapt. And then, you know, the reality is like there's tens of thousands, whatever, more streamers, you know, like if you're being yourself, you're putting community first, you're doing the work, you know, the reality is either it's going to happen or it's not.
Right.
And I have no problem because, I mean, the reality is it's going to happen or it's not. And I have no problem doing this, like you said, Saucy, the other day, for years.
Right.
Like, I'm going to do this regardless.
Yep.
Simple. Like, I've said that before, like, you know, streaming, if I'm going to stream tonight or not, it has literally nothing to do with numbers. Like, if I had a bad stream the night before, you know, whatever, like, oh, I'm not going to stream because I don't think I'm an average. Like, so, like that literally doesn't even cross my mind. Right. Okay. I'm gonna stream because I love it, and my community, like, they are very gratitude, man. Like people, as even though we don't have, you know, thousands of followers or anything like that, the reality is that there's people. There might be one person that's coming to your stream that thinks about it during the day. Like, man, Salty streaming tonight. Like, it's for, man. It's like, man, how could I let that person down? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be here.
See, that's like, you know, I got this Discord, and I've been very blessed and thankful for everybody that's even like in it. But more importantly, like, I have people that, you know, they go into general chat or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, Salty, are you streaming tonight?" And like, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, dude, that's like 12 hours. Like, what you talking about? Like, get out of here with that, you know? But it's just like so humbling to me. They're like, you looking forward to that? Like, I know I am, but
right.
What else you got to go on a Friday night? Like everybody that's here right now, like y'all should be out like partying or something, you know. But y'all are here right now, and that's nuts to me. Like, I don't know. It just boggles my brain. Like, and that's a big thing that I've grown on too. Is like I always just had that mindset of like, like, do I deserve this? Like, people give me like subs or bits or whatever. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, don't use your money or whatever. But what it really boils down to is like, they respect you and they want you to keep doing what you're doing, and they want to pay you for your time, even if it's not monetary, but just for them being there, or just getting at with you off Twitch, and they're just like, dude, man, that was an awesome stream. I hope you had a good stream. Sorry I had to leave, or I'm so glad I got to stay there the whole time, or whatever. Like, that is powerful. Like, there ain't nothing like that on this planet. It's
right.
It's
right.
nuts.
Agreed. Right. It's like when somebody, like, I don't know if this happened to you. Like, it's happened to me a couple times. Hey, Pat. Hey, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna get. I'll sub to you when I get paid on Friday. Like, what? I'm like, that's happened to me like twice now. Like, hey, man, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna sub on. Like, bro, like, what? Like, I'm so like, dude. And because the thing about it is like, I don't ever say, I don't even like saying that word. I don't even like say that word.
Yeah.
and for somebody to say that, I'm just like, first of all, bro, for you even thinking about coming here, I'm appreciative. And forget that sub nonsense, man. Like how you been, dude? Like, and it's just, and what it is that, when you're just doing your best and you're just putting out good, it's just that, that person, they appreciate you a lot, and they want to do what they can for you.
For sure.
And it's hard to wrap your mind around that. It's just like, man, because it's so beyond humbling.
Well, that's like,
I don't know.
Like, most of us work like a day job, right? And so we're under somebody, and we think that we're putting in the work, we get paid. Like, yeah, it's deeper than that. Like, like you're saying, like, you gotta love your job and all that. But generally speaking, that's what you think of. And when you get on Twitch, it was hard for me to make that adjustment of like in a sense, people are paying me for my time entertaining them. Like, donation, like, I hate that word donation. Like, that's a tip, but you gotta have that mindset in the back of your head too. That's like in a way, I deserve this, but like, I'd rather you put this towards you, but like, because like a big thing for me to figure out was like, there's people that, I'm not well off. I do good, and I own everything that I have, but there's people out there that are so financially stable that they're not emotionally secured to their money. Like, all of us are, I'm sure, like, they're just in that income bracket where they're just like, it's just money. And I have that mindset, but like, I got bills to pay. Like,
sure.
I mean, I'll straight up say it. Like, I put almost double into, double into not necessarily just my stream, but into my community, into the people that, I'm around, like, bits and subs and donos and whatever. Like, but I've put double in what I've made easily. Like, I don't even know the number, but I know for sure. Like, and that's because I'm comfortable with that. But more importantly, it's because, like, there's a guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but he has been without a job for like 4 weeks because he worked for Uber, and they said no more felony drivers, and they're like, what? And then he lost his job. He's got like 6 kids, like he's a hard ship right now, and so he needed some money to start getting training for a big job. I dropped $100 on him, like, and that's not, and that's because like that person impacted me in a way that I wanted to show, like, I'm gonna help you, dude. Like, you need to do this. Like, so like once I started realizing that, I was like, you know what, I get it. Like, people are in there giving a little bit of these bits and subs because they, they respect you as a person. They want you to continue to grow, and maybe they think you need it or whatever. But what it boils down to is they're like, you deserve it. Like,
right.
And that's a hard curve to get past. I think I'm still working on that, but
I feel you. Same. I'm working on it too. It's just like, okay, like, I'm certainly not gonna say I deserve it. Like, And it's like, it's hard. Even getting to that point where you're just comfortable with them saying that, it's just like, oh, man, like, dude, like, I know you have a better use for that money, man. Like,
don't y'all gotta eat? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, facts, dude. And it's just like that. And it's like, man, like, okay, you know, like for sure, I feel you, man. Because like when I first started streaming, dude, it took me personally, it took me a while. It took me a while to even feel comfortable with putting the donation deal like on my panels. Like it literally for me, it took people telling me, "Hey, put it like just do it," and out because it had to feel right in my spirit, bro.
Right.
Like, but when I first started streaming, I'm like, I haven't accomplished anything. Like, I'm not gonna put this on there. I'm not judging anybody that does it the day one. I'm just saying, for me personally, I guess it goes back to what we were saying earlier. If it doesn't feel right, like I can't sleep at night, dude.
Right.
So I feel you on that, man.
But I feel like, I'm not trying to speak for either one of y'all, but I know that I grew up where like nobody's gonna hand you anything, especially not gonna hand you money, and that's for me. It's like, what do you like? It was just so hard for me too. Like, how are you gonna tell me you're gonna give me that money? Like, you gonna give me $5? Like, what are you talking about? Like, buy you a soda or something, Like, something. Like, I don't know. It's nuts. It's just, it's a big curve for sure. But that's why, like, I don't know if you guys know who Soda Poppin' is, but he's a really big streamer. Streams WoW. He's the only big streamer I watch. I don't watch him every time or anything like that. It's just a filler or something every now and again. But every time I've gone in there, he might not do it immediately when it happens, but he'll take the time and he'll thank his 5, 6, 7 subs or whatever he gets. He gets a lot a day.
Nice.
You go watch Ninja or Shroud or whatever. They don't care. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, to me, like, I know they used to, and it might just be where they're at that financial like mindset, where they're just like, it's just money. But like, that's why I got a lot of respect for Soda, because he's very appreciative of that, and he does it kind of in a like sarcastic way, I think. But that's just the way he is. That's what his thing's about. But that's one big streamer that I look up to for that reason, for sure. Like he never let his numbers or the amount of money he made stray him from being appreciative of what like.
Nice.
That's cool.
Right.
And I want to be
sure.
I want to be that person. Like.
Yeah. And you will be, dude. Like, you will be. I'll talk for you because I know you're not gonna do it yourself. Right. But like, you will be. Like, I know, haven't known each other for that long, but I know you well enough to know there's nothing about you that's gonna change when you hit that point. Nothing at all. You're still gonna be. There's gonna be a lot more people. That's all.
Nope.
And like, Healthy and I, we've been talking about that too lately. It's so interesting because it's just like, man, like, I don't even know. Like, you get to that point where your chat's just going nuts. Man, it's like,
exactly.
It's like, man, I want to acknowledge. I want to like address every. Oh man, like I don't even know how you go through that hoop, but like you said, at least at the very bare minimum, if X amount of subs or X amount of bits or whatever stack up on you, like I don't care. Like, I'm gonna take time to acknowledge every single one of y'all, and let y'all know, all of y'all know that I'm so beyond grateful and humble that y'all would do that. So yeah, man, I know that's got to be tough, man. Like, when, like you said, you're like that Soda Poppin', where it's like, man, you want to, like, you're gonna acknowledge all of them. It's just like, I feel like for me, and I think probably both of y'all too, it's still like you do that and still like, man, like I want to do, what else can I do? Like and I think by the time that happens, I think we'll all come up with something. I don't know what that is now, because we've been talking about it a lot. Man, I don't know, man. It's just showing that you're thankful, and that it means everything. Like I was telling the Healthy, like if we got to the point where we have 50 DMs or something like that, like I don't care. Like I'll stay up all night. Like I'm gonna answer every single one. I don't care how much time it takes, dude. Like, for sure, bro.
And like, it's just so it's so easy for you to just, or for me, I guess, just to look at like, not financially speaking, but like just the amount of thought that giving some amount of money is more important to me than the actual money. Like, I'm gonna treat $100 donation like I do a dollar donation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the amount. It's just like, I don't know. It's so powerful to me that people even think about doing that. You know, like I had to tell. I'm gonna call out Joker. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm gonna call out Lou. He's given me like 12 gift subs in like the last like week, I feel like, and like I'm super grateful for that. But I told him, I was like, dude, just stop, like, get out of here with that, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, I wasn't mean about it or anything, and he, you know, he knew what I was coming from, but I was just like, dude, I appreciate it, but seriously, dude, like, there's so many other people out there that need it, you know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just hard for me to get past that.
Yeah, and I feel you too, because it's like, right, like, you know, the reality is, like, we don't know what someone has going on. So, like, the reason why you treat a dollar donation like $100 donation, besides you just being extremely grateful, because I know this is what I do, it's just because that might be the only 50 cents that person has.
Right.
Like we don't know. Like, a lot of people don't have, can give $5, $10, $15, man. Like, that happened to me before. Like, somebody, so I won't say her name, but somebody subs to me, just because I'm not trying to put the business out there, but somebody subs to me and was like, man, like, you're like the second person I've ever subbed to.
Right.
And,
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it's just like, bro, like, I wish I could explain to you how much that means to me. Like, I can't do a great job at it, but I'm gonna try, because I'm gonna tell you everything that's on my heart and show you how much I mean that, for sure, man. It's just like, we don't know somebody's financial situation, somebody's time situation. That's why, like you said, retweet anything, somebody thinking about coming to your stream. Like, you don't know what's going on in their day, how much time they have, what's going on at the house. It's just, it's ridiculous that people just expect this, expect that, expect Salty to show up to my stream, expect them to host me once a week. Like, how dare you, man? Like, get that. Like, who the heck are you? Like, people get fancy before they're fancy, you know, and
I like that.
And like, it's just it's perspective, bro. Like we were talking about it earlier. Like, whatever, you get to that point where you're, I don't know, averaging 30 people or stuff like that, thinking that you're something that you're not better than anyone. Okay, none of us are better than anyone. Okay, and then you stop doing what got you there, and then you lose it all, as you should, because you didn't respect your community and thought you were something that you weren't. Okay, like, I don't care if I have 400 followers, 4,000, 400,000. Like, I'm not above anyone. Like, we all had our first stream. Like, come on, man. Like,
then that's a big thing. Like, to me, it's just, if you can realize that, you know, like, you're growing in general, I think that's really where it sets you out from everybody else. Because I know a lot of people that are just like, you know, like, I'm good, dude. I'm here. This is what I'm gonna do from now on. And then they just sit there. They're not improving all the time, you know, like, it just bothers me so much when people just settle. Like, you can't settle for where you're at. Like, even like, look at like, okay, I'll talk about Ninja. I'm usually kind of a little bit anti-Ninja, but I respect what he's built. You know, he deserves everything he's got. But even at his level, you know, like, he's still number one, I'm pretty sure, right? Even at his level, he's still out there trying to get all these sponsorship deals and making all, you know, shaking all those hands and going to all these events. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still out there doing it. Like, he's trying to improve himself, you know, and his, you know, and that's,
he's not getting comfortable.
Right. So, like, if Ninja, who's making, you know, like $600,000 a month or whatever it is, like, outrageous number, is still out there, like, trying to get better, like, how can I sit here and say I'm good? Like,
exactly.
That don't happen. Like, so seriously, I mean, like, you know, I'm an anti-Fortnite person myself, but dude, hands off, hats off, whatever, for freaking Ninja, because he, I mean, Don't bash him all the time, but he's well built. You know, he deserves everything he's got.
For sure.
And that goes to everybody.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like, yeah, for sure, right? Like everybody, you know, kids, adults, or whatever, they turn on Twitch for the first time, or they hear about Ninja on YouTube. It's crazy. ESPN, seen him on there the other day. And it's just, which is incredible, man. It's like, congrats to that dude. It's just like they see that and this is in every field or career or whatever you want to label it, is that they see the end product.
Right.
Like, sure, okay, but you kind of need to listen to the backstory of Ninja. Like, the dude's been competitive gaming for years.
Yes.
Like, years, not 6 months. Not, I mean, I completely agree, Salty. It's like, okay, he's at this, he put in the work.
Right.
His community boosted him to this position.
Right.
Like, how the heck am I going, like, who the heck am I?
Right.
Like, and he's putting in the work. And that's the whole thing too, right? You're talking about when somebody gets to partner, you know, because that happens too. Somebody gets that, you know, purple like check mark and think that they're done. They're big time. They're done. They're like, really? Like, that's when the work starts.
Right.
Like, come on, man. It's you're never to the point where you can't improve. You're never to the point where you can't put in the work and you know, your community grow. You're always grinding. You're always striving. You're always, you know, putting out your best, putting out the good. And it's a constant. You're constantly working. You're constantly working, and some people lose sight of that pretty quick when they achieve, you know, any kind of success. And I agree, Softy. Those type of people don't need to be doing it. For sure. Like, I mean,
and that hurts to say, you know, just because you know, I want everybody to reach the level they want, but like, dude, just get it or get out. I mean, I've started to really just. Like I said, I got no tolerance for that anymore, you know, and like even on Twitter, like, you know, I got people all the time and they're like, hey man, you know, join my Discord or whatever, and I'm like, all right, you know, look man, I would, but I'm already active in so many Discords, man. I'm just so busy, I just don't have the time for that right now. I was like, you know, but I love, you know, your community and I'll support you within your stream, you know, but that's not good enough for them. Like,
they don't get upset at you.
Yeah, well. You know, that kind of hurts my feelings. You're not in my Discord, you know. It's like, you know, like, look, dude, if you can't respect my time, like, damn straight, I'm not respecting yours. Like, and that's it. Done. Like, I mean, I don't block them or anything, you know what I mean, until it gets a problem. But I'm just like, all right, I know who you are. Like, you showed your true colors to me tonight. Like, I just, it's just like I used to always I would keep coming back to those same people, like. You know, before Twitch, I was even on Twitch, but just in real life, I would just keep giving them second chance. And now, I will to an extent, but like I said, your values are always the same. Like those aren't. Like, you might be able
1,000%.
You know, you might be able to improve, like, you know, your standing and how you treat people, maybe. But at the end of the day, like. You're still there for those 3 or 4 or 5 reasons. Like that doesn't change.
Right, for sure. And right, like it's the same, like you said, in your personal life. Is like it can whoever be your friend, or it could be, you know, like, you know, your spouse or something like that. It's just, you know, when it comes down to it, it's just, you know, like. What point is it that person, your spouse or whoever, keeps doing this thing, screwing you over, doing that? Like, at what point you can blame that person all you want, but you know, like I live in Texas, I live out in the country. Like, I don't know, like I see a copperhead snake, I know it's a snake. Like, if I go up to it, how can I be like shocked that it bites me? That's what it does. So if you know some person, that's what they do time and time again. How can you keep putting it on that person instead of getting away from that person? Like, everybody is so quick to blame someone else instead of taking ownership of their own actions. Like, dude, I can't stand that. Like, pity me, pity party. But it's just like, wait, this person's done this to you how many times?
Yeah.
See, that's a big rule in my Discord and my Twitch. It's like, we want to help you get past your hardship. And I'd read it like quote for quote, but I can't right now. But but it says, we're here to support you and try and get you through that, but do it in a way that is a positive and it's building. It's not like if you're here for pity or for in a way that we can't actually improve the way you're looking at it, then don't be here. Like, don't mention it. Like, that's, and I think that's important because at the end of the day, like, you are your time's worthy, it's valuable, and the amount of the connections you make, they have to be real connections. They can't be fake. They can't be like, like, I'll support you just because I want what you got. Like, that's bull to me, like, just
it is.
Just do it because you want to, like, and that goes back to the job and everything in your life. Like, you shouldn't be doing anything for gain just because you think it'll work out, like, numbers wise or whatever. You should just do it because you enjoy it and you want to be there or whatever. You want to do that,
Yeah.
You want to work here. You want to get, you want to work this many extra hours so you can get this car or this house or whatever. Like, you want those things, go get them. Like, don't do it just because you think it's going to increase your standing or make you a better person. Like, you're already a good person, like, but, you need to be great. Like, you need to, like, I know Eric Thomas talks about that all the time, and it touched home for me. Like,
right.
Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know. It's nuts.
I feel you, man. I feel you, 10,000%. That's the whole thing, is that there's so much of the, like, doing this, just expecting to get whatever out of it. It's just like, man, like, people don't understand how much you're holding yourself back. I mean, it really are selling yourself short. Like, for sure, all that time that you spend in this person's stream, like, hoping that you get something out of it.
Right.
Like, I don't know, use that same amount of time into actually putting it to your own community and putting out good. Like, just imagine how you're always going to be further doing it that way. Always. And then you can actually sit back and look like, man, like, I didn't fold.
Right.
Like, this was genuine. This was just, being, extremely humble, but putting in the work and seeing the return. Like you said, all three of us have already said, no matter what happens with this platform in general, no matter what happens, from here on out, all three of us have won.
Right.
Like, it's just, and that's where it is. That's where it's at. And when that drives you, like, when that person reaches out to you and says, hey, you did this, like, wow. When that drives you and everything else is not even on your mind, like the money wise, not even on your mind, dude, that's when, like, all the good happens. Like, as far as that side, like, man, forget about that stuff, man. Put that work into your community. Like, man, these people, like, have lives. They have stuff going on. Like, how the heck you expect that person to donate? Like, they don't know what they have going on, man. Like, be grateful that they're there, that they're talking to you, that, they thought about you. I'm sure you have having that too, man. Hey, I thought about you today. Like, really? Like, you thought about me sometime today?
Like, I feel like I hit up more people on Twitter or Twitch, and I'm just like, or excuse me, Twitter or Discord. I'm just like, man, dude, I was going to come by and I was going to check out your stream. But, whatever, this got in the way. I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to you next time. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you, or, whatever. And then the people that are just like, dude, this is no sweat, man. I appreciate that. Those people are the ones that I'm going to be there. The ones that turn that around and just be like, like, yeah, dude, I'll be on, tomorrow at X. Like, you didn't even acknowledge that I took the time out of my day to make up for what I missed. Like, all right, see you later then. Good luck on your stream. I might stop in, but that's the thing. Like, you can't waste your time trying to just keep, I don't know. It's very important to give time back into your community in the sense of, like, trying to, I don't want to say teach them, but just kind of show them like this is what's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna be there when I can, and you're gonna be there when you can, and it just naturally happens that way. It's unspoken. Nobody expects it. Like that's very powerful to me. Like I got a lot of people that come back to my streams a few times, and like I catch their streams probably every other stream, but they don't care, you know. And those are the people that I'm messing with, and I don't care that if they're not there every time either. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just do what you can when you can, and at the end of the day, you know, you're gonna feel good about it. Like
Right.
I just can't stand those people that are just so wrapped up in support for support or get in what you put in. Like you do to an extent, like in time you spend on yourself or whatever, you get in what you put in. But in the sense of like showing support to others, like you can't think of it like that. You just got to be like, look, you know, like I'm so glad I got to catch the stream. This is awesome. I'm glad I'm here. You know, you might not be there for a week, you know, whatever. But if you can go back to that same person a week later and they're just like, oh, I'm glad you're here. You know, I know you've been busy. Appreciate you stopping in. Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, yeah, you got my support until the end, until you like burn out or whatever, you know. But like those people won't. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah, same here, right? Like I hear that a lot too. Like, hey man, like somebody come in, hey man, sorry I've had this and that going on. Like, sorry I haven't been here in a while. And it's just like, man, like, oh, I'm like, man, shut up. Like, stop. Like, stop it. Stop saying that, bro. Like, thank you for being here, period.
Right.
Cut all that jazz out. You know, I don't care. Like, have you been okay? Like, as far as like your well-being, are you okay? Like, I don't care if you're like, I'd love to have you here, but man, like, I'm glad you're all right. You know, for sure, man. Like, I watched somebody get a huge raid last night. And it's kind of what we were talking about earlier. That person was kind of just like, oh, cool. And
oh
like,
my God.
I'm like, are you like, I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like you want to jump through the screen, dude. It's like,
Oh
really?
like, nah, dude, I get it.
Grateful? Like,
That's what I'm
gosh,
saying. Those
bro.
people you just want to shake, just like
Yes,
hey,
for
dude.
real. Like,
Oh, it's nuts. Like I remember,
man.
I wish I knew where the clip was. I might have to try and find it and show y'all. But this guy I've made friends with. I've joined his community. He was pushing partner. Unfortunately, he didn't get it, but it's okay. I was there for him and helped him try to pick himself back up. But he hosted me one night, and it was like, oh, dude, it was like 60-something people. Dude, I like threw my headset down and like pushed my chair out. Like I was just like flipping out. Like it was nuts. And I was like, that wasn't fake. Like I was blown away.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, like people are on their own level. Like he needs to be doing that to people that are his size. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he took the time to give me that. Like, dude. But I know that community I started way back. That's what we were about. We were about raiding smaller streamers, and we met people like that all the time. And they were just like, "Oh, cool, you know, 40-man raid, like, cool, like, all right."
No.
What do you mean, cool? Like,
I'd be spazzing, bro.
dude,
I'd
like,
be spazzing out.
it was nuts.
Oh, dude, I know it, man. I know. It's just like, Healthy, you seen that before? I know you have.
I've seen it a couple times. I haven't seen like a 30 or 40 man raid.
Yeah.
But I've seen it a couple times where you go and like drop a raid on somebody and they're like, "Oh, thanks, man." Just like the complete like monotone reaction, don't even care.
Dude,
right?
the like literally, like just to give y'all some context, the raid that I saw last night was a few thousand people.
Jeez.
Like and like and she was just like, cool.
Oh my Lord.
People were talking in the chat. She was hardly even acknowledging. Oh, thanks for the sub.
Oh man.
Like, I was like, you. She got healthy. She got like 20 gifted subs.
Oh my gosh.
Holy.
And she was just like, wow.
Oh,
I'm like, really? Like, oh man.
I would have been freaking
Unbelievable,
out,
bro.
man.
Unbelievable. I literally don't know what I would do, but I'd be spazzing. Like, I'd be spazzing.
I don't know. I just don't get it. It's just so. It's just like, how do you not appreciate like to me it's just like I worked so hard, like I put in so much time, you know, and then like for that to happen, it's just like, oh, I needed that, you know, like it's been nuts. Like thank you so much, like oh my gosh, like I just want to like hug that person, you know what I mean? Like I just like,
exactly.
It's I can't get past that.
It was exactly. It was her moment
For sure.
like that. That's something. Yeah, I don't get it.
Like
I don't get it.
Like I was I did some research, you know, they got like that that setting where you can do like raids from only your friends or something like that. And I just always thought I was just like, why would you need that? Like raids are awesome, like, you know. Well, I did some research, and there are some like I'm not trying to single anybody out, but like let's say like heavier women that stream, right?
Yeah.
They'll get raided, and those raiders will just go in there and like bad bash that person.
Oh my gosh.
So like to an extent, I kind of see where that girl's coming from, like, you know, but that was obviously a positive raid. Like she should have took advantage of that, but like you got to be on your, I don't know, like. You gotta be on your toes too with that stuff. Like that's why I don't ever just go raid somebody like that I don't know. Like I don't just go scroll through freaking like, you know, Overwatch games and go find somebody to raid. Like I'm like, hey, I met you, like, you know, whatever. I like you, you know, I'll give you some love. Here you go. You know what I mean? Like that's
right. But
that's something to me that I'm worried about, because I think raids are very important for growth. I think they're one of the most, you know, top ways for me personally to show support. I think, you know, like, because it's like you're taking your audience and you're throwing them at somebody else that either you respect or, you know, you appreciate, whatever. It doesn't matter what the point is, but the point is you're taking your audience and you're throwing them at that person, and that to me is just over the moon. But like you flip it and you got those people that do those big raids and they're just like bashing people, like that worries me to the extent of like Twitch is gonna eventually like get rid of that. And like, I mean, like I said, adapt and overcome, but still like that's
for sure just the wrong people, like 1,000% too, man, you know, right? It's like I couldn't, you know, if someone even dared to like talk down about somebody that was like in my stream,
right,
that I rated, and they have the audacity to say something negative about, I mean, I would lose it, man. You know, and that's the other thing too. Like, who are these people in these communities in these chats and stuff who raid like whoever and like make like what's going on with your community, like, and to actually like make fun of somebody, you know, like really,
like, you know, like I don't make fun of, but I like poke, you know, like you get to a point to where you're with people where you can kind of like, you can mess around with them and it's okay. But there's a there's a very fine line between like, I'm sorry, being that and being an ass. Like there's a big difference there, you know, like
for sure. And we all have people like in our stream, like whatever, like okay, like you know this person, like whatever, like y'all go back and forth to each other. Like that's something different, you know, it's something, you know, completely, you know, different. But just going in there and talking about somebody you don't even know, and bashing them, saying negative things, stuff like that. It's just, man, I didn't want anyone like that, you know, anywhere near me. You know, I'm just not gonna put up with, you know, any of that. And a lot of people do.
It's just, I just don't know why anybody would want to. Like, I grew up in a very small town, right? And we had you know, like I said, I was one of those popular people, I guess. But like, we would have like, you know, special education, you know, students, or we would have like new people that are, you know, like from New York or where, you know, they're from they're totally different world, and they come here. Like, we would go move our table at lunch, and we would go sit with those people. Like, we would, you know what I'm saying? And like, it was insane. like I think that's really what I guess started it all, because like you could see the amount of kindness that you would share with those people. Like I don't know, it blew me away. Like, and I never really realized it then, but now looking back, I'm just like, like I know that person's gone through a lot of hardships or whatever, and like they're gonna continue to do that. But like I feel like they're gonna look back on those days and be like, man, I remember when Colton and all these other people used to come in. They used to say hi to me and whatever. Like that's what it boils down to. That's more important than anything else to me.
Yeah, people don't forget those things, man. You know what I mean? Like people just don't forget stuff like that. Even like something like how it is. Like if that's just how you are as a person, and you've just done that for however long, and whatever, you might run into somebody in the grocery store, or somebody might DM you on Twitter or something like that.
Right.
And just be like, or you be talking to them, just be like, and you'll be talking about something else, and they'll say, hey, but man, you remember when you said this or that? Mm-hmm. And man, I really appreciated that. It's just like, oh yeah, like I did say it. Like, you know what I mean? Not that you didn't mean it. It's like you definitely meant that. It's just like, man, when you're just trying to put that out and just uplift people and not talk down to folks, that stuff just comes out of you, and you say so much of it because it's just genuine. Like, I don't know, like you forget what you say sometimes.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
All you know is just help that person out.
Hey, Jason, thank you so much for that bit, dude. I appreciate that. Seriously, thank you. Sorry.
No, man.
No, that's cool, man.
It's gonna eat me up.
I don't know. I get it.
I don't know. I always see like these people. Change gears here for a second. I see these people on Twitter all the time, and they're talking about how, they feel like they're not appreciated, or that they're putting in all this work and they're not getting any traction, on Twitch. And I always try and get those people like in a DM if I can, and I'm just like, look, so you're gonna sit here and complain, but like tell me about yourself, like let me hear it, right? And then they tell me, they're like, well, I stream Fortnite, and I don't have any money, but I spend a lot of time. And I'm like, well, how long are you streaming? They're like, I don't know, every day. I'm like, all right, well, how long are you streaming? They're like, 6-7 hours. Like, okay, well, that's cool. How many people you met? And they're just like, nobody's came in, so nobody. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, no, like, how do you not put 2 and 2 together and just be like, you know what, that might be why? Like, how does that not make any sense to you? Like, I don't know. Some people just don't get it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm
like, that's why I always talk about, like, it doesn't matter what game you're playing, right? Like, it does not matter. Like, you can meet people inside of whatever game it is. You can meet people like on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. I think there's like Pinterest going around. Like, I don't like everything's there.
Everywhere,
like,
bro.
It doesn't matter. Like, like, your content is not the game. Your content is you and what you bring to Twitch. It's not whatever the game. Like we were talking about, like the game's the background. Like, that's not even. I know people were bashing some others because they're playing marbles all the time. They're just like, like they were just like, everybody's just playing marbles now, and that's the only reason they're getting all these views, because everybody's just playing marbles. Like, no, dude, they're having fun with that. Like, like, that don't matter. Like, and everybody, I hate people that just flood to a new game. Like, yeah, I play a new game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but they're just like, I'm streaming this game because it just came out, and I want to be the top streamer in it. Like, dude, just do what you're doing. Like, you're doing fine. Like,
right.
Go back to your roots,
For sure, 1,000%. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm looking forward to Red Dead Redemption coming out, because I'm looking forward to it coming out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been really wanting to play that game. Now the great thing about it is when you go about it that way, like the side effects of it when you're actually enjoying what you're like playing it. I use the quotations because just like that chat gets going, like you ain't playing that thing. Like, you know what I mean? I know. Like, it doesn't matter what night I stream or whatever. I don't care what I'm playing. I could be looking for. I've been looking for the Red Dead Redemption 2 for a couple years now.
Right.
Pack is going. It's gonna get paused just like everything else.
Right. Well, see, that's like me. They like
Yeah.
the new Call of Duty came out or whatever, right? And everybody's like, "Hey, man, you gonna get the game? You gonna play it?" And I'm just like, "Nah." Like, wasn't it a fun game? I was like, "Yeah, dude, I had a blast," and I was looking forward to it. But the truth of the matter is I'm not gonna be able to play that game any different and engage my audience any different, no matter what game it is. Like, it doesn't it doesn't make a difference to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hog, thank you so much for that $5 dono, dude. And yes, we're gonna play Siege. Holy freaking cow! Get with me, please, and we will discuss this. I'm a little off my game tonight, but we're spitting some truth here, so it's important. Listen up.
Right. Nice.
Like, I'm just,
Well deserved, brother.
like tonight. Like, I've been like, I know you guys have too, but like, I've been looking forward to this like talk all week. Like, that's why I was so disappointed. I had to, I know y'all understood and all that, but I was just like, man, I really don't want to put this off. Like, I want to do it, but like tonight, like, I was all day at work today. I was looking forward to today. Like, I was just thinking, like, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but I'm gonna talk about this,
Right.
And then like, I don't know. It's just, it's a new experience, and it's a new like being able to talk with you guys. I feel like I get to know you a lot better. Like, like, I don't even look at it like, I don't know. I'm just speaking what I always speak, I guess. Like, it's not. It's just doing it with like-minded people.
Yep.
That's what's cool.
Yeah. For sure. Same here. I've been talking to Healthy about it and stuff like that, man. I'm like, man, I'm pumped. Like, I can't wait to have like Salty on, man. I feel you, man. It's just like, even at work and stuff like that, I'm just like, man, like, this is cool. But like, this talk tonight, though, man. Like, the back and forth, just the engagement. Actually being able to talk to you, bro, like for an extended period of time, like voice to voice, and being able to. I don't have to like type. I can actually like say something to you and get your perspective and stuff like that. And it's, man, it's so much fun.
And since you mentioned it, like, I don't remember who it was. We kind of skipped over it. But somebody had mentioned something about what our take was on like webcams and microphones and all that stuff. And I just want to point out that, to me, like, you got to invest in yourself, and you can get a good webcam for $50. Like, if you ain't got $50 and you're really good about streaming, you really want to do it, like, I'll help you somehow to get it. But to me, like, a webcam is super important to me because there's nothing more personal than seeing somebody's face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that stream and they don't have webcams, and that's fine, and they make do with what they got, and they do it in other ways. But at the end of the day, like, like, if I didn't have a webcam, there's no way I'd be where I am right now. Like, y'all know, like, there ain't no way.
I can't see them awesome facial expressions.
Right, but I just don't see why people can't like they can't justify, like, to me, like, as soon as I streamed for like a week, I think, before I had a webcam, and I was like, you know what, I love this. I've met so many awesome people. I'm done. I'm gonna do it. I just dropped the money on it, and like, some people don't have that though, and that's why donation bills are important, and that's why, like, I don't know. It's just, people just need to really just feel like they just need to look at what they want to accomplish, and then just realize that at the end of the day, they're going to have to invest in themselves somehow. And if you can invest time into yourself, and if you have the means necessary to just do a little upgrade at a time, like that's okay. Like,
1,000%.
Like, it don't take, like, I know personally, like, budgets are important, but, like, if I wanted to spend $200 on something, like, I can quit going out to eat for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. Like, I can save the money somewhere. Like, you just got to prioritize that some way. But I don't know. It's just rough for me to sympathize for, like, my best friend from high school, growing up, whatever. Like, he spent all this time, like, complaining about, like, all this money that he doesn't have, right? And then turn around, he spends like $300 on a bow for deer season. Like, what you talking about? Like, like, what are you doing? I don't know.
I get you.
I get you, yeah, for sure. Just, he cares about, the bow and hunting season more. He cares about, deer more than. I mean, I get it.
Right, but then that guy also turns around and he didn't have enough for lunch like the next week. Like, what you talking about? Like, that's the difference. Like, if you're within means and you want to blow some money on doing some fun stuff, like, I get it. That's cool.
Yeah.
You do. I ain't trying to tell you how to finance, but if you can't eat the next week, like, don't you think you should have thought about that before you spent that money?
Facts, brother. Facts, for sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure. That's like another thing too, right? It's like people, ask me a lot. Well, I just gotta, I only have a console. I don't have a PC. I don't have a capture card. I'm like, you can stream from the console, right? Yeah, but that's not what I want. I'm not gonna get any views. I'm like, there's a guy named Sorry. He's a real person.
Yes. Dude, I use Sorry for an example all the time. I'm so glad.
Stream like straight from the console with just the PlayStation camera. Yep. Absolutely kills it. Mm-hmm. Like the doing, like people are so focused on the frills. Like the doing is what's important. When I started, I streamed straight from the console with the camera, playing H1Z1.
Right.
Like, simple. And then when I got to the point where I'm like, okay, like I want a PC or whatever. Like, I mean, being quite frankly, one of the reasons why I work 6 days a week, 12 hours, is because when I get to the point where I want to buy a PC or something like that, it's just like, I can do it. Like, I make the sacrifice of my time, and therefore I don't have to make like a goal of, a $2,000 donation goal or whatever. Like, help me get this, and it's just like, no, like, I love y'all just being here. Don't worry, I'll figure the rest out. I'll get it myself.
Yeah, like, no, I get that for sure.
I don't know.
But some people don't have that mindset. And speaking of donations, Silent Wrath with the $10 donation. Holy freaking cow! Please stop. Thank you so much, but stop, man. I appreciate it. Says, much love, my dude. You have helped me in so many ways, so you deserve this. I don't deserve it, but I deserve you. Thank you.
Salute, Wrath. Awesome, man. He does deserve it.
I don't know. It's just so hard for. I don't know. That $10 is going towards bits for somebody. I'm sure that's usually how it goes. but
oh man.
Like, do you guys like ever feel that feeling like you're just passing like money around? Like, I feel like people give me bits and I just hand it back to them in a different form. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's cool.
For sure, man. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Getting something and just pouring it back into the community.
Right. But I got a lot of people that. I got a lot of people that, like one of my biggest friends / supporters, he's like, man, you got a kid, and like, I know you could use this for your bills. Like, I appreciate what you're saying, but like, I got that. Like, like that comes 100%. First, but like, for them to just even think that, like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm never going to get used to that. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah, me neither.
Totally. Yeah, man.
Yeah, having me the other day, whatever, got a donation and some bits. Go buy some more boots. Like, what?
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I appreciate you. Man. No, man. That's how it is, bro. It's just like,
It's just
humbling.
It's just so, I feel like, to me, most people just look at it like, I don't know, they just look at it like, if you're going to take the time and the money, like, you invested in me because you like me as a person. Like, for example, Hog and Silent, they both just donated, right? Like, I know both of them aren't here to donate because they want me to go host them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing it because they have the means, but because they're, they respect me as a person. Like, that's a big thing for me to get past. Like, how in the world is like, I don't know. It's tough. Like, it's crazy because to me, just for.
You are a very kind of person, Salty. But you are a very kind of person. I tagged the wrong person, but you are very kind.
just seen that highlight come up. I was like, "What you talking to me for? We're right here."
Oh man.
Right on.
But
Yeah.
honestly, it's been one heck of a night. I've really appreciated you coming on this podcast, Salty.
Oh no, dude! Seriously,
It's
the
been
pleasure's
awesome,
mine.
man.
Dude, this is like you're talking about having fun and stuff. Like, it's probably the most fun I've had in a while. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I love it, bro.
yeah, like I don't know. Seriously, it's nuts.
Dude, dude, like I said, man, I thank you so much for being like, love it, bro. Like literally, I could literally talk to you like all night.
Like to me, like I feel like
I don't know.
connections, when you get that, you know, when a connection's been made, when you feel like you've been friends for years, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like that's
I
when
get
things,
you.
that's when things are just like, all right, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool for sure.
That's exactly how I feel, bro.
Does anybody in chat have any questions for us? Anything they'd like to ask us? But no, it's been really good. Where do you think all your energy comes from? Like, are you just naturally an energetic person, or do you think?
I don't know about energetic, but I'm a very loud-spoken, proud person. I've always been a leader, I think, and I demand, like, I don't demand it, that sounds kind of bad, but, you know, like, I have that vibe where I just kind of demand attention, so I turn that into energy towards, yeah, okay, so Hog actually went to high school with me, so,
Yeah.
yes, but, like, I don't know, I guess my energy really just comes from, it sounds cheesy, but, like, the community, like, you know, like I think it slowly developed over time, but just the gratitude turned into energy, and then
That's what it is.
you know, like it's just turned into like I don't know, like it's just like I was talking to Lou and some other. I think I might have already said this, but I was talking to them, and when they said that I was the same person on and off camera, right? I did talk about that. It just blew me away because like I really started thinking about it. I was like, that's because of y'all, like, like you know, like y'all welcomed my weird side. Like you know, you don't bash me, you embrace it. Like that's nuts to me. It's just I don't know. My energy comes from gratitude. That's the answer. Long story short, there.
Man, dude, listen, right hand to the man. Dude, literally when Healthy asked that question, bro, dude, I'm telling you, that's literally what my answer was gonna be. I can't make it up. Gratitude. That's it. That's exactly what it is, bro. It's gratitude. Like we were talking about earlier. How could I be any other way when like someone is actually showing me kindness in any capacity, showing support in any capacity? It's just I'm just grateful forever.
Hey, look at that. Silent wants to know who you are.
Question. This is who I am right here.
Yep.
Where's that emote at? That healthy kid. Thanks for asking, Brad.
Hey, what's up, Theatrical Gamer? What's up,
Hey, Theatrical, salute. What's going on?
Oh man.
There you go. There you go, Silent. That'll help.
Ooh.
Yeah, man, you missed all the good parts. What's up, dude? But welcome. What's that link for the podcast? I feel like everybody's gonna appreciate it. Let me permit. Who's gonna do it?
You gonna post it, Healthy?
Post what, sorry?
The podcast link.
Yep.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Hold on, I gotta permit you real quick. Is that slash or yeah?
What the heck?
Oh, I don't know actually. You know what? Here, just there.
Perfect.
That'll work. Oh hell, I think I was your 200th follow. What? All right, look at that. That's what I'm talking about.
way.
Nice,
Dude, way to go.
Nice, bro.
Sitting on that for a while, so
Congratulations, bro.
Dude, for real. Hey, Theatrical, we were talking about a lot of good stuff, but now we're kind of taking questions. So if you got any questions, dude, like, I know you've built a solid community, and shout out for that, seriously. And, you know, that's, like we were talking about, that's another one of those guys. I think we all know him, but, you know, you can just kind of get a vibe from him, like the type of person he is, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
that's, I don't know.
I told him I hadn't had the chance to catch a stream. I told him like in October, because he said he's gonna start streaming in October. I'm definitely gonna tune in because he was very kind and came to my stream the other night, and we were talking about brisket on Twitter the other day. So
Isn't that crazy? Like,
yeah.
oh man.
Amazing, man.
for sure.
Man. Appreciate you being here.
I just want, like, I don't know. My whole goal, I think, like, I have goals all the time, and my whole goal daily is just to, like, sit down and just think, like, and I blast it on Twitter, like, it's not a secret, like, I tell people all the time, but it's just, like, I want to meet some new person today and, like, impact their life in some way that, like they can, like, move on. Like, I've had people, and this touched home big time, I've had people come in and they say, dude, your tweets literally get me out of bed in the morning. Like, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's not, like, that means, that's nuts. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, you know, those connections, they're just, they don't stop. I have met you.
Oh man.
No, I feel you on that, dude.
It's just,
I really do. I really do. Like you said, you just can't even, you can't replicate that.
Right. And it's just so hard to, like, explain it, you know? Like, I know y'all get it, but it's just, like, it's so hard to just look at it and just say, like this is why I do this. Like, this is why I spend, you know, I work as hard as I do to be here. Like, it's so hard for people to just, you can't relate that, like, unless the people are doing the same amount of work, then they get it, you know? It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to relate, I guess, because everybody's different, but at the end of the day, we can all look back and say, you know, like, I know what I am as a person. It's nuts.
Yep. Agreed, brother. I agree with all that. Dang, man.
Well, I mean, I know I got a little bit of people from my community here, so you guys, I mean, do you want to, like, say something about, like, when the next podcast is and all that stuff?
Oh.
I don't know.
No, like, yeah. Without trying to, I don't know, sound like a plug, but no, you know, Healthy and I are both like blue collar, so generally what we do is as soon as we find out when the next day is going to be, we send a tweet out on Twitter. So it is weekly. We haven't missed a week yet. I don't even want to plug my Twitter here, man. But
no, dude, please.
Yeah, every like all my socials at YourFavTexan, same name on everything. So we'll tweet out when the next podcast is going to be. Dude, appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that.
No, dude, seriously.
Definitely. Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. Boots on stool to protect against spiders and scorpions.
I hear you, Danny. I hear you.
Oh yeah.
Those beavers get us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier. Danny is another Canadian. Danny is actually one of my longtime streamer friends. We started that community together. He's still running it. Shout out to him.
Nice.
But Danny has helped me so many ways. So shout out to him. Seriously, it's nuts. Like that's back to that whole surround yourself with like-minded people. You know, like it's nuts. They're out there. It's just a matter of like putting in the work to find them. You know. And it's
Yeah, for
it gets
sure.
easier as you go, I think.
Dude, I was gonna say that. It seems like as soon as I found like one like-minded person, that it was just like, found this person. Like,
Right.
it's yeah, for sure. Word gets around pretty quick. Hey, and Danny, yeah, man. Like, listen, I'm telling you right now, you put some boots or something on the floor, especially like right now this time of year, man, you gotta at least shake them things up. And it might be a spider, a brown recluse in it. I'm telling you, I seen it. So, but yeah, man, I like having my boots up there, man.
You know what you know we need to get you like a mount, like your big buck or something right on that wall. That'd be cool.
That'd be tough, man. I've been for sure. I've been thinking about what I want to do with that wall.
That's me. I don't really like having my place here like shown, but you know, green screens and stuff. One day.
Get a boot safe.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I don't know. My whole thing with my channel, I think, is just I want people to feel like they can come in and they can talk about whatever they want to. They can talk about who they are, and then they just leave in a better mood than they came in with. You know what I mean? Like, and I think you guys are the exact same way, even if it's not spoken. And like those type of people, like they're out there, and those are the people you need to be around. Period. That's what I think. You know, like.
For sure.
Like.
For sure. It's about bringing good right to the community. Like, leave it better than you found it.
Right. Campsite rule for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And you do a great job at it, man.
I just hear like my dad yelling at me in the background, like, you better pick that up. Just me being a kid, just mad at him because he, you know. But like, dude, like now it all makes sense. Like those little itty bitty like sayings and rules, they go so much further and deeper than what it is now.
Dude, right? Dude, I literally, man, I call my folks like every day because like that meant something then, but I really get what y'all were saying.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Well,
1,000%, man.
Do we have any more questions? Anybody? The square root of pi, I don't know that one. Sorry. Not a mathematician.
Either. Not even close to that.
I do know one thing that Twitch has taken from me or given to me that I need to work on is that's another 20 pounds. I need to figure that out real quick. This is rough.
Oh no.
I needed it though. I feel good.
Yeah.
If y'all won the lotto, what would you do with it? I'd give it to you. That's what I'd do.
Hey.
Not all of it.
My hotel set up hundreds of streamer rigs. Oh, right on.
I feel like you got to play the lottery to win the lottery. I ain't wasting my money on the lotto. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, I probably just do more.
Right.
Do more of what I'm already doing. Just triple down on all of it.
For sure.
True.
Just give to people with no cameras around.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
I hear that. I don't know what I would do with it. It depends on how much money I'd make. I think I might actually like just take a couple months off work and go and work for somebody like, if I could work for somebody like Gary or somebody like that.
Ooh,
just to kind of like watch, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's a great answer. But I love it.
Yeah, like ET, like.
Oh, I got you.
A little bit more on the business side, but yeah, for sure, man. That'd be fire. Yeah.
That's what I'd do. I'd make sure, like, pay off any like debt or anything like my parents and I have, and then I would do that. I'd go and like get an apartment somewhere in New York and do that if I could, if you'd even take that. But
Dude, it's just I feel like that's a hard question. Like it's a simple one, but it's just like I don't know.
There are a lot of variables.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just feel like
For sure.
dude, honestly, like I'm pretty good with my money, but I'd probably just blow it. Like, like there'd be some good things that I should use it for, but I mean, like I can only do so much. Like what is it, like 150 million or something? Like
Yeah.
not all that's gonna be for good stuff. Like let's be honest.
Honesty is always appreciated, man.
You guys want to
For
ride
sure.
my 15th jet ski that I just bought? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. Isn't that?
Pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I respect
Yes,
that,
sir.
puppy, for sure.
Yeah.
Give it to your parents so they don't have to work anymore. For sure, man.
Heck yeah. Like, right on. What would you do with like the other 140 million?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's what's not like.
Yeah,
how many million would it take for 100 PewDiePie races to burn them? Jesus. Oh my gosh.
It's racist. I mean, and other things too. Obviously, like
Yeah.
I don't know, buy a ton of land. That's for sure.
You know, like for me, I'd want Wyatt to, you know, have like college paid for or whatever. You know.
Right. Yeah.
But like,
stuff like that.
Like nobody ever thinks about that stuff. They just think about like, I don't know, just buy a big truck and drive it around and buy a big house.
Yeah.
You know, like you never think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Split it between you three. How kind of you.
For sure.
What
You
a
are
nice
2 times
person.
No, like when you win it though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna hold you there. I'm just playing.
That guy is a Canadian, Danny. He is.
Yeah, man.
He's a real Canadian.
Yeah.
He's not
I'm
a
from
shill.
Saskatchewan.
You can just tell you by the way he said tune.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that was a real place until I watched that movie. What movie was that? Grown Ups?
Grown ups. It's
Yeah.
not a real place. It's just
Oh.
it's just a joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Because there's a place called Saskatoon in Saskatchewan.
Oh.
So you're from Saskatchewan, eh?
Yeah, I got you. Alright. I get it. Alright. I'm filled in now. My bad.
No, it's nowhere near Toronto. There, Danny.
For sure.
No. I haven't actually ever been to Toronto.
Really? That's
Never.
interesting.
Never.
You know,
that was a myth.
I usually do this like during my like I don't want to say real streams, but like you know what I'm saying, like regular streams. I guess I usually like take a second to talk about who else, you know, the streamers in the chat and all that. But you know, I'm big on like-minded people surround themselves with others, as you guys know. So,
Right.
you know, for those that are my regulars that are here, like these two individuals that are to the left and far left, I guess, you know, they got the same mindset I do. So, you know, and you guys know as well as I do, it's not about the game. It's about the vibe and about the feeling you get and all that. So, for sure, if you guys haven't yet, you need to at least check them out. Like, what are you gonna lose? That's another thing that we haven't talked about. Like, that's what drives me nuts. Like,
That's true.
somebody told me the following count is like, I mean, like, I got 800 followers, only following 270 people, right? Like, that looks bad. But those 270 people, like, for the most part, I'm in and out of their streams as often as I can. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's just, I hate those people that are just like, well, I don't know if I'm going to follow you unless you follow me first. Like, just go in there and say hi. Like, what do you lose? Like, what do you lose just finding out about them? Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's
nuts.
ridiculous. For sure, man. Appreciate that.
For sure.
I don't know. Like Sly, you know, I had the pleasure of meeting Sly not too long ago, and yeah, I'd plug you some more, but she's already sold. Like,
Yep.
you know, yeah, you know, Salty's a great dude, man, for sure.
I'm mediocre.
For sure.
Sub to me, or it doesn't count. I'm just kidding. Actually, this is crazy. I play Rainbow Six pretty often. This is gonna go way off the rails for a second, but I've actually mentioned that I was a streamer a few times in some games, and I've gained like 3 subs for just saying that. Like,
Wow, really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's pretty nuts.
Oh man.
It's nuts. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sly.
Yeah, you like Slash. She's really nice.
Oh, it's a she? Oh, thank you. Because seriously, everybody comes in and I say, dude, I feel so bad. It's just like...
Yeah, right.
That's the thing I gotta work on. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
I'll tell you, man.
Dude, this was a blast. Like,
It was pretty fun, man.
thank you guys so much for letting me come on here. Seriously. This
Oh,
is
man.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming back.
When y'all get famous, like, give me a cut.
Don't do
or
that.
whatever. Like,
Don't do that.
I can't speak for
hey, we gotta say that for you.
But
man.
Texans turn into a big time streamer here.
Don't do that. 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 He like dude. So like literally the other day, a couple days ago, I bought a stream deck.
mm-hmm.
You know, and he's like, you know the people that do that, right? And I'm like, who? He's like, big time streamer. Like, man, I'll talk to you later, bro. I know he's just messing around with me, but yeah, man, fresh. Yeah, but no, bro. Like, it's fun, man. It's fun to be able to like to watch people like y'all, and just to sit back and be like, analyze stuff. It's like, oof, man, this person's gonna be super successful.
Right.
Oh man.
Like I love it, man. Like I love like you said, I love talking about people. Like that's something I've just done my whole life. Is I'm gonna talk about somebody else before I talk about myself.
Right.
And I don't know, like it's just like I'm always gonna be that way. So man, it's an honor to always talk to y'all, man, and Salty. We really do appreciate you being on here, bro.
Dude,
Right.
I'm gonna like.
We really do.
Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't know. Every stream I've had has been a good stream. Even like the one where, you know, like I had to end so abruptly I got hacked or whatever. Like, it was a blast, you know. But before that, obviously. But but like this is new. This was super fun. Like I've never, like I feel like I do this off camera, I guess, but I've never like, I don't know. This is a well timed, and I'm glad I put the time into it, and you guys let me come in. Seriously, that's awesome.
Oh man.
And Silent, get off your phone and get a poncho or something. Like, Ray just came in, emergency evacuation. Jesus.
Still be on my phone. Right on.
I don't know. I just, you know, at the end of the day, I just know that like I respect you guys and I appreciate you guys, you know, and it's just humbling to me that, you know, there's more like-minded people out there. Like it's just so nice to know, you know, like Healthy. I feel like I'm just now getting to know you, and that's a mistake on my part, I think, but you know, still, it's just I'm glad that through text I could be introduced to you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
Like that's
I
cool.
hear that, man.
Yeah, same. It was like when I came in through the raid, with the SAR raid, I was like, man, and I've definitely done that multiple occasions with different people. I'm like, oh man, I'm glad I came in through this raid. This person is cool, man. Like, yeah, I'm gonna follow him.
Right.
You know,
like there's just
100%.
there's so many like awesome content creators out there. Like it's just, I don't know. Everybody's unique, you know.
A ton. Yeah, that's the great thing about it. Everybody, you know, got their own deal going on.
For sure.
It's awesome.
Anyway,
3.5 hours, man. I think it felt like it.
that's nuts. Is that a long one? Does that feel long? I feel like it was.
Yeah, that's probably like the longest we've.
Yeah.
Well, that's y'all's fault. I told y'all I talk. Like.
Hey, man. Hey, dude, love it, man. We loved every minute of it for sure.
We did.
Yeah. I mean, 'cause like I said, that's what we pretty much do. Like even when we end the podcast, we keep on talking.
Right. Well,
It's all good, brother. We appreciate you, bro. Like, I know I've said it 10 times. I'm going to say it again. Thank you, bro.
no, dude.
Thank you for being on there. And thank you for also, again, too, for anybody that was here from, I don't know if there's anybody here from the beginning. Like, yeah, I really thank you, man, for streaming this.
Oh yeah. I hope we can. I'm gonna try and do some research, see if there's an alternative to Discord that's just as good. Trying to let you know. Maybe I can find something. Because that sucks.
I'm about to ask you about that because it's only with the call, and I'm gonna have to ask you about that bit rate deal you were talking about because I don't know anything about that.
Let's see. I have a 11 megabits per second upload, and my bit rate is at 3,000. And the reason that is because if you go on a website, like it'll tell you like you want anywhere from 25 to 3,500 bit rate on your streams. And the reason you do that is because number one, that's like your quality, but number two, like most people's internet will stream those. If that makes sense.
Okay.
But if it's if it's around that and you still having issues, then it's probably just Discord taking so much of it. Because whatever your upload speed, like your download speed doesn't matter, it's just your upload speed.
Right. 1,000%.
So
yeah, right on, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it. Do some research. That is how you met me, Sly, for sure.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Man. It's just like I had started a bunch of from like if you go on my phone on my phone mainly, and you go on like you Google or look up how to grow on Twitch, like you can scroll for a few times and you'll see I watched like all those it's so easy. Like I don't know, it just bothers me when people just don't get it. It's just like the research is there, the tools are there. Like I just want everybody to be good at it and learn.
Same. I think with like most things, a lot of folks are looking for like shortcuts, right?
Right.
Like how to get there. Okay, cool.
Like
actually engage, cool. But what's the hack to grow super fast in a month?
For sure.
And it's just like be genuine, value your community, put in work.
Right.
Just be patient.
For sure.
Willing to learn.
It's definitely it's a marathon, not a sprint, for sure.
Oh yeah, bro.
But it's like even if like like you were talking about, like it's not work if you're having fun with it,
That too.
That too. Like people are just like, man, the grind, dude, the grind is real. It's like, I mean, I know that's just a term people use, but like I don't treat it like that, I think it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
And yeah, Silent, and I've caught a few of your streams. Unfortunately, only a few, but I mean, dude, you've got it. But you understand too, it's just like it's time and just you'll get there,
Right. 1,000%.
For sure.
Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's just nuts that people like they think like I hit affiliate so I can keep going. Like no.
No. Yeah, you haven't even begun to work yet.
Yeah, But Silent's doing an impeccable job, I think. He's doing a really good job. That's what it's really about anyway. It's just trying to meet new people and trying to make friends with them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, literally, like, I've told people that all the time. Like, they'll come in and say, so how'd you get where you're at? Like, I don't know. I got a lot of friends, I guess. Like.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, a lot of friends.
Right.
Doing stuff for the right reasons. Usually a good way to go about stuff.
All right, so I usually, I feel like we've pretty much handled it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I usually don't do this for my raids. I usually like throw you guys at people that I know for sure, but I'm gonna go out on a limb. I met this guy on Twitter. He seems like he's a solid dude. Slap and Tickle. I don't know if you guys know who he is. I've never personally met him or watched his streams. I was going to tonight, so we're gonna raid him and we're all gonna watch him. So
Right on.
But he's based on Twitter, he seems like a really positive and supportive dude. So I think it'll be good. But let me first make sure. Hold on, let me make sure. I've gotten to get in this habit now. Make sure he's even on. All right, he is. All right, so that's the plan there. I appreciate all y'all
Perfect.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Sly.
Good night, guys.